We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hey, Julian, how are you?
Oh, I'm golden. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thank you for asking. So you know what? Obviously, been a minute since we've seen you. Finally making that comeback. Just can you walk us through those emotions to finally be back at this point?
Man, I don't really know how to put the emotions to words, man. I'm just excited and pumped to be able to perform on the opener for the pay-per-view card and show everybody what I've been working on for these 31 months.
I mean, when you have stuff like that, you're out of action for a while. I know you had one fight scheduled that just didn't materialize in the end. I mean, that could be very frustrating for any athlete not to compete. So I guess what was your process of staying positive, getting over the hump of not letting it get you all the way down? Because obviously that could be a challenge of itself.
Honestly, there's two ways you can look at it. You can either look at it like you're a victim and the world's going against you and everything's going against you, or you can look at it as another obstacle that you have to perform and get over to become who you want to be. And during that time off, that's all I had to focus on is getting over these little obstacles, over these little lessons that life was teaching me to become a better athlete and become a better mixed martial artist.
Maki Pitolo, your upcoming opponent, another guy kind of new to the promotion. I mean, what are your thoughts on him and what he brings to the table?
Hey, Maki's been around. He's a tough, solid guy. He has a good chin, a powerful punch. But the difference is most people, forgot about me. They don't remember the name. They literally washed me out ever since, I tore my arm out. But if you look at my record and the people that I beat, these guys are winning. And I made them highlight reels. I made them $50,000 bonuses. And Maki is going to go in there thinking the same thing, thinking that I'm 2018 Julian, which is 2021. And I'm coming here to give a little bit of romp and stomp.
My final question, you guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. I'm asking all of the fighters this. What is your idea of a romantic Valentine's Day?
That's a very unusual question. I don't know. I guess the UFC gave me this Aura ring, and it only fits on my ring finger, and everyone keeps asking me if I'm married. So technically, I'm married to the game, and the UFC and I are we're a thing now, and we get to celebrate it together in the octagon.
I think that's a great answer, bro. So thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
We will take our next set of questions from Zach Pakleb with UFC.com.
I'll be right here. You can start.
Oh shit! Okay, cool.
All right, man. Yeah, in terms of making your return and everything, it's in a unique environment, right? Like it's in the Apex. There's not gonna be any fans or anything. Is that disappointing at all that you can't come back and like kind of hear the roar of the crowd, or are you just happy to be kind of back in the swing of things?
Man, I was on Contender Series Season 1 where you couldn't tell anybody anything. People, media, everybody reaching out to you, trying to put matches together of who they thought they were. And then we fought in the Ultimate Fighter, warehouse at the time over there by the Palms. And you really couldn't have that many fans in there anyway. So this is just another stroll to the park for me.
Yeah, so when you make that walk to the octagon, what will be going through your head, to make your return? And I know it's been like a lot of start and stop and just fights that fell apart and stuff like that, but what will you be feeling once you make that walk?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you, but I do know that when I hear Miley Cyrus, Heart of Glass, my body's going to switch into a different person. You're going to see a different side of me that hasn't been seen since 2018. This side that has been caged, has been locked up and not been able to, show its true form because of an injury, because I'm not able to live the way that I want to, because I'm not inside that octagon.
And what was that process like in terms of, not only recovery, but like trusting your body again, kind of go and do the things that you want to do as a mixed martial artist?
Man, it was an educational process. You know, we went through a lot of different things, a lot of different PTs, a lot of different doctors talking about it. It was a roller coaster ride. One day you'd be happy, the next day you'd be sad, the next day you'd be excited, and the following day you'd cry. You know, and it was just something that built me as a person and built my arm and made me understand how to use this arm properly and how to keep that going and making it stronger throughout this time of my career.
And then last one for me is there, you know, other than showing people the evolution of yourself, what would you kind of like the statement of this performance to be?
I'm here, baby. That's it. I'm here. And I don't really need to make a statement. People are going to love me. People are going to hate me. I'm going to show up. I'm going to make them laugh. I'm going to make some cry. But I'm going to get paid and go on to the next one.
Sounds good.
We'll take the next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Julian, welcome back. I know you've talked a lot about, you know, the kind of frustration of the last 3 years, but when you came up with the Contender Series, you had a lot of momentum because you were on that first series. You had that huge knockout to get into the UFC and obviously had a big impact in your first fight. Coming back now, like, do you feel like it's going to be difficult to rebuild that momentum, or are you going to, you know, kind of remind people who you are with this fight?
Man, that's going to be simple. Momentum is pushed by the population. Momentum is pushed by people. You know, shitty people win fights and get a lot of momentum. I'm just saying, like, all you do is win and everybody's going to be on board. And if you get a knockout, everybody's going to go wild. I've seen it throughout this whole entire game. I've seen it in 3 years out, people being pushed faster than they should have, things like that. So it doesn't matter. I don't care if I go in there and we get a boring decision, which I really hope it doesn't happen. But if we get that, I got paid, I'm on the next route. And then we're going to go out there and have the next person, and they're going to open up a little bit more, and it's going to create that opportunity. It just, I'm not looking for everybody else's, you know, push towards me. I'm looking for my self push to get me to where I want to be.
You hear a lot about ring rust in this sport, and you know, some guys like Dominic Cruz say it's a state of mind. You know, if you come back and you're rusty, that's on you. Other people say, you know, it is. Your timing can be a little off. The training isn't fighting. How have you dealt with that? Because again, it's unusual for anyone to be out, and I know it's been frustrating for you to be out as long as you have been.
Yeah, I mean, ring rust is a thing for people for sure, but it comes down to how you train. If you train like, you know, a slow, methodical, well, I'm going to do this, go light, then that's how you're going to go. But if you're training like you're actually fighting and you're getting those rounds and those types of mitt work like you're actually fighting, then that ring rust won't go because you're working through that. You're building your momentum and your memory in your body to be able to utilize your tools at the right speed at the right time in the octagon.
And when you made your UFC debut coming out the Contender Series, you kind of were getting this reputation as, you know, high impact, you know, the exciting kind of fighter we all want to watch. When you look at this kind of style matchup with Maki Pitolo, do you feel like this is the exact kind of fight you want to come back to, because this will give you the opportunity to have another one of those, you know, memorable performances?
Yeah, for sure. If you guys say so, if you guys look at this, you know, type of fight as like we're going to go out there and just beat each other's faces in until someone gives, then yeah, for sure, we'll definitely be hyped up. But, you know, I'm going out there and I'm doing what I do best. And he's the type of person that can bring out the best in me. That's why it's the best matchup for me personally.
And last one for me, I got to ask you, mentioned the walkout song, Heart of Glass by Miley Cyrus. I like the zombie cover a little better, but, you know, it is what it is. So tell me the inspiration for that particular walkout.
So I was actually watching Saturday Night Live, and she performed Heart of Glass on there. She did the live deal, and I was like, oh, man, that's amazing. And I wanted to find it online, but all you could do is just see like YouTube videos. So I actually sent out a tweet saying, like, look, if you put this on stream, I will walk out to it like 100%. I love Miley. That zombie cover is amazing, but if I were in Ireland, that's where I'll be able to play that song. But right now, we put that out there, and everyone, all the fans, everybody teamed up with me. They're retweeting it, resharing it, and she ended up putting it on Spotify, iTunes, and all the you know, platforms to be able to play it and stream it. So I'm following my duty and walking out to that song.
Thanks, Julian. Looking forward to it.
Yep. Thank you.
We will take our next set of questions from Cote Cruz with 4-to-Win MMA.
How you doing, Julian? Good to talk to you.
Good talking to you as well, man.
Thank you, sir. Well, first of all, congratulations on your successful podcast with longtime MMA fan Kendra Loss, The Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a fun Beauty and Beast podcast for sure.
Well, did it help you to have that outlet with Kendra during the podcast while you were away from fighting?
Yeah, for sure. Teaming up with Kendra on a podcast could help out a lot. It definitely helped out with my commentary roles that I ended up getting with like Tough Enough, FAC 5. That's going to happen here March 5th. It's also helping me be able to do just different outlets and sponsorships and everything. It just giving more practice on the mic to be able to talk clearly and more, just a better version, I guess, myself. And it helped build me up on the outside to where I can actually have an escape route after I'm done with fighting.
Well, congratulations on that. Before your layoff, you were still considered one of the fresher faces in the UFC octagon. Were you ever able to get over what some may call the UFC jitters after that time off?
I don't know what you mean. Like, can you reword the question?
I was talking about the time before you were away from the sport. You were still considered one of the fresher faces of the UFC. Right. So were you able to get over from the time that you were competing until the time you were off? Were you able to get over what some may call the UFC jitters?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like when my first fight in the UFC, if you watch it with Darren Stewart, we definitely made that one to remember. We went out there. He was fighting like it was his last fight in the UFC, and I was fighting like it was my first fight in the UFC. I was excited. I was amped up, ready to rock. And then, my next fight, I tore my arm out, which I evolved, and I was able to control that adrenaline. And with this time, I've been able to just educate myself and just understand a lot more of me and control my own emotions. So, yeah, I would say that I've developed, better jitters, I guess. I've developed control over the jitters.
Well, can you comment on your preparation for this fight? Was it particularly difficult with all the COVID restrictions that are currently in place?
Absolutely. It was very different. I had to leave Las Vegas, my home. I was training at times in the park with a couple people like Tom Lawler, Corey Hendricks. We'd meet up at the park sometimes to hit some drills. I'd meet up with AJ Williams to hit mitts here and there, but I wasn't able to find that team environment, be able to go there because of COVID. And, I went to Alabama to go train with Eric Andrews and Walt Harris and help them out whenever the, first UFC fights were happening after COVID. Helped them out. And then my nephew was being born in Kansas City. I went to Kansas City, and James Krause was, doing some classes, some small classes, following the guidelines. So I started jumping in there, and I pretty much stayed away from Las Vegas, where I live, since literally April. I haven't been back to Vegas. Like the third time I've been back to Vegas, and the other times have been because of fight cancellations. I fly out here because of a fight or something like that. So it was extremely difficult when it came to that preparation. But, James literally took me under his wing. He put a lot of time and effort, put me on a schedule. He got me from 255 to 186. He evolutionized my game leaps and bounds. Grant Dawson has educated me in the wrestling realm and educated me in understanding of how to actually fight and not just go out there and wing it. So it was a different process. It was a different lifestyle. It was a different, want that I had, but I absolutely needed.
Well, welcome back home, sir. I hope you have a good time in Vegas, and hopefully you have a great fight. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
We'll take the next set of questions from Ryan McCarthy with Low Kick MMA.
Hey, Julian, how are you, man?
What up, dog? How you doing?
Good, good. Welcome back. Hope all is well, man. And yeah, thanks for giving us some time here. Wanted to get your thoughts. It's been a while since you've been in the octagon. How active are you looking to be in 2021? What does the ideal 2021 look like for Julian Marquez?
Man, I mean, that question is a very unique question. If you think about it, it all depends how each fight goes. Like if I go in there and I tear another muscle, or if I split my head open or whatever, or we have like a 3-round war, I probably won't be that active. But if I go in there and start cleaning people out, then I would like to be active. So I would love to have 10 fights in a row, but that's not realistic. We saw Kevin Holland bust out 5 fights in a year, and he was taking them over and over, but even then it was tough for him to get those fights. So I mean, I would like to fight 4 times. If I can get 5 in, if I can get 6 in, that would be awesome. But the more the merrier.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and then what's the ideal cheat meal after a big W on Saturday for you? What's that look like?
That's a very difficult question. I'm going to be honest with you. So we're in the pandemic. The UFC is doing absolutely amazing to keep us safe with all the COVID protocols, keeping us away from, just the general population that possibly might get us, another case and whatnot. So being able to get the food that you really want right now is going to be difficult because it all has to be Grubhub, Postmates, or DoorDash. And I mean, I really want Jinya ramen. I want some ramen. I've been craving that. And the thing is that you can't DoorDash that. So I had to figure something out. I'm thinking we're leaning towards pasta. Maybe Buca de Beppo's. I don't know. I'm still going there, but I think pasta would have to be that realm of post-foot weigh-in meal.
Sounds good, man. Well, best of luck on Saturday, and pumped to hear your entrance song too. So best of luck, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much, Julian. That is all the time we had for you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by UFC lightweight Jim Miller. We now welcome UFC lightweight Jim Miller. Jim, thank you for the time today, sir.
No problem.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Jim, you're obviously known as one of those guys who's been in the UFC a long time. You've been there through Spike TV, Fox, ESPN, streaming on ESPN Plus. The last 2 years, or last year and counting, in the business has been just absolutely different than anything else. For yourself, who's been a part of everything, what's it like, having the virtual media day, having the no crowd, just all of that experience? How do you sum it up as a guy who has seen all the other iterations?
Honestly, it sucks. There definitely are aspects of it, like as a fighter, it's like, oh, I gotta go do media, and like you're cutting weight, and it's not why we sign up. I'm sure there are some fighters that enjoy that part, but I think a majority of us, it's like, you're here to fight, and you look at it as like it's something that you got to do. But there's also the social aspects of it, and like we're kind of stuck here. I mean, the COVID tests were late this time around, so we got in on Tuesday, and it's like we couldn't leave our room until like the afternoon yesterday. So it was kind of a pain in the butt, but it's just different, and the no fans, it sucks. It really does. I was actually I just did this little podcast with Yves Edwards and Joe Lozon the other day, and we watched our first fight, and I remember like during that fight, it's like I knew something. I knew it was special while it was going on, and it's like, man, like to be in a fight like that and not be sharing it with the fans there, and not like hear the roar of the crowd between rounds. Because for me, I get like tunnel vision when I'm fighting. Like, so in that 5 minutes, I barely hear my corner. I'm lucky if I do hear my corner. But that minute break in between, it's like things open up. And I just remember like after the first round of that fight, it was just like deafening. And to be in a fight like that and not have the fans, it sucks. I mean, it's like I don't fight, just to be in the public eye. I mean, I fight because I enjoy the competition. I love the opportunity to test my skill set against, anybody and everybody. But there are definitely aspects of fighting in front of the fans that it's just like, man, it's a rush. I mean, it's great finishing somebody, but when you finish somebody and you hear the fans explode, man, it's a certain kind of high that you just don't get when the fans aren't there.
When you talk about how long you've been in the game and how long you've been in the UFC, people bring up the fact that there's maybe less than 5 guys from your era who are still in the game right now. Do you put any significance on being, maybe Jim Miller's going to be the last man standing? All those other guys are going to call it a day, and Jim Miller's going to be the last one to possibly hang it up in the future?
That really doesn't matter to me. Like it's not a like I'm competitive. I'm a competitive dude, and like to the point where like if I'm eating something with my brother, like we're like trying to eat faster, right? Like and just making fun of each other, but like that aspect of it, it's not a competition between those guys to hang on that long. It's an elite group that I'm honored to be a part of. Like the list of names of fighters that have hit 30 fights in the UFC, that have hit 20 fights in the UFC, is elite. I mean, I don't know what the average UFC career is. I would love to see like a plot chart of how it is and like where everything plots out, right? And see it. But I imagine that the average UFC career is maybe 5 fights. so to be able to be around this long is it is you know it's a testament to me and to my team and my support structure, and that I've had the tough times and I've made it through because of the people around me. But yeah, it's I mean, it's cool. It's cool to be associated with those groups of fighters. And I mean, like, you look at a guy like Cerrone, that guy's gonna fight until he's 60. Which like like I said, I put that pin, like I put that pin on 40 fights. I want to get to 40 fights, and I've spoken it out into the universe, and this will be 37. There's three more, and we'll see where things are at that point. And if I can continue on, the way I'm feeling right now, like I could hit 40 in a little over a year if I get the opportunity to fight when I want to fight. But yeah, like it's not a competition with those other guys. It's kind of more of a just, I love doing this. I'm going to do it as long as I can. To a degree, right? Like I don't want to be reckless with it. I don't want to be one of these guys that retires and then comes back. That's not my style either. So I'm all or nothing, and I'm still all into this.
Definitely understand that. Jim, my final question. You guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. I'm asking everybody this. Jim, what's your idea of a romantic Valentine's Day?
Yeah, you have 4 young kids, and of course it's like, it's kind of, getting away a little bit. My wife, she's amazing, and I wouldn't be here today without her. From the beginning, she was supportive of me and my career, and yeah, like just spending time with her, and it's I'm spoiled in that I get to do something, and my job is like, it takes me away from my family for a week, a couple times a year. But a majority of the time I get to spend with my family and my wife, and really it's I'd say that, yeah, getting away with her a little bit and just kind of relaxing and yeah, like just hanging out with her is fun. So like whatever we can do would be great. But at the same time, neither one of us are big on like the made up holiday of Valentine's Day. So I tell her, I'm not buying you flowers in February. Like I'll grow you the biggest garden of flowers you want, but I'm not spending 5 times as much to buy you roses.
Oh, good, man. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll take the next set of questions from Omer Mertsavci from S Sport.
Hello, Jim. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much. What is your biggest goal right now on your career, Jim?
To perform. I know what I'm capable of, and I know that I can compete with the best guys in this division, and that's my goal. Is it's not necessarily getting to a certain number of fights. It's really just taking them one fight at a time and one performance at a time, and fighting my best every time that I get the opportunity to step inside the octagon.
Thank you. What do you think about lightweight division current situation? Do you think Khabib dropped the belt or something? What do you think?
I mean, Habibi, he stepped away, and I totally respect what he's done inside the octagon and his decision. I do find it it's a little annoying when everybody's calling him out when he said he was stepping away. I mean, obviously they want big fights, and big opportunities, but he decided to do what he's going to do, and I fully respect that. I would like to see Poirier and Oliveira fight for the title. there's so much like talk that's going on right now with, Nate throwing his name in and saying 170s and this and that. And it's like, let's just get the belt around somebody's waist, and Dustin needs to fight somebody. And I think Charles has earned his opportunity. He's done an amazing job. It's not easy to stay in this game. And it's not easy to have a resurgence. And, he came in strong, he had some ups and downs, and now he's on an absolute tear. And, this game is about timing. You're riding that wave, and if you can get your opportunity at that big fight when you're riding that wave, that's what you need to do. I look at a guy like Tony, and like my heart breaks for him. Like, as a fighter, it's like, hey man, everything comes down to that night and those fights. And, like I said, timing. And that's a guy that was on a 11 fight win streak against absolute animals. And I mean, was just beating the hell out of top competition, and he never got his opportunity. And now it's like, do you wonder if that opportunity is past him? Is he still capable of being the same fighter that he was during that streak? And, I don't know. We don't know that. I'd love to see him, come back up and get ahead of steam behind him again. But, I think that, Dustin has earned the opportunity, and Charles has earned the opportunity, and they both need that shot. Because it's like, if you don't give it to them, you don't know what tomorrow holds, and both those guys are on tears, so let them fight for the title.
Thank you. My last question, Jim. I'm asking this question for my channel. I know everyone asking this, but what do you think your opponent's next fight?
Bobby's he's a guy that's been around for a long time, and I've seen him fight so many times. I prepared to fight him back in 2014, and it excites me. Like I've never picked a fight. I've one time in my career I've gotten a list of fighters. I got a list of like 4 guys to pick from. Every other time it's Joe or Sean would just send me a name and I'd say yes. And I get excited to fight everybody, but those guys that have been around and the guys that I've seen fight a bunch of times, I get a little more excited to fight them. It just adds that extra little dynamic to it, and a little bit of extra excitement to me, because I've seen somebody fight a few times. I'm a fan of theirs, and I want to mix it up. And like I said, I look at every skill set and every opponent as an opportunity. It's not. I'm not trying to necessarily beat them. I'm trying to do my best against what they bring into the octagon, and Bobby's kind of like that. He's got a different style of striking than pretty much anybody that I fought. So like it's an interesting style to deal with, and I can't wait. I'm fired up for it, and just jonesing to get into the octagon on Saturday.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for your answers. Good luck on weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim. Unfortunately, that is all the time we had for you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by UFC middleweight Ian Heinisch. We now welcome UFC middleweight Ian Heinisch. Ian, thank you for the time today, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel with Cageside Press.
Hello, Ian. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I mean, Ian, a couple days out from a fight, you obviously got a big name opponent. Can you talk about the emotions going into this one?
Just feeling cool, calm, collected. The first few days had just a little bit of paranoia about getting sick, but that's all past. I feel good. The weight cut's beginning, and just more excited than anything. This opportunity, I've been dreaming about it. I've been working for it for a long time, so ready for it to come to fruition on Saturday.
I know you fought in the, quote unquote pandemic era already, but I wonder, fighters, you got a routine for fight week, and it's been very standard throughout your career. As things have changed now with the hotel and all that, what have you changed about your fight week routine? Do you bring some stuff with you to deal with all that hotel room time? What have you brought differently lately that you didn't before?
Basically I turned my room into like a recovery room. I got my air relax boots. I got my rad roller set just for rollout tools. I got the hypervolt, so I can just really do a lot of recovery stuff in the room. And we don't have the entourage around, so usually every night we do like a little Bible study at night. So we get on a Zoom call with all my closest people and my entourage, and just a few adjustments. It's not quite as exciting as fight week used to be, but we're focused, and everyone will be out here right after the fight to celebrate. So, it's just business as usual. I'm excited for things to open back up eventually, but now this is fine. It kind of relates to being in prison and going and winning the fight and winning your freedom and go have some fun.
There's obviously a lot of talk. Is Kelvin Gastelum starting to miss a step? Is he slowing down? Stuff like that, being on the 3-fight losing streak. What are your thoughts on where his game is at personally?
Whether he's slowing down or not, that's on him. I have to prepare for the best Kelvin Gastelum, and sorry, I keep saying Kelvin Gastelum, and I'm expecting for him to be prepared, ready, on weight, and for it to be just a war. And usually when I expect for these things and I prepare for these things, that's when I get a finish. So that's what I'm expecting. His journey is his journey. So we're preparing for the best of him, and we'll see how it goes on Saturday.
My final question. You guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. I'm asking all of the fighters this. Ian, what's your idea of a romantic Valentine's Day?
Actually, Valentine's Day is going to be my 7-year anniversary of freedom. So it's a very significant day for me. Every day is kind of Valentine's Day with my wife. I try to treat her, romantically all the time and surprise her with flowers and all this stuff. So we don't look at that day as much as like a Valentine's Day for me, but it's more of my celebration of my freedom that I got 2014 Valentine's Day. So but I guess a ideal day is hanging out on the beach and going to a nice dinner.
Hey, thank you, Ian, and good luck.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Cote Cruz with 4to Win MMA.
Hello, Ian. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, sir. Thank you for your time. How's fight week going? How's Vegas treating you these days?
Oh, fight week's going great. I just left Colorado, and it's one of the coldest weeks there of the year, and so I'm happy to be in warmer weather, and it's getting ready to start the weight cut, and everything's on point. Feel good, passing COVID tests, so that's a plus, and it's a great fight week.
That's awesome to hear, man. Would you say this fight against Kelvin Gastelum is the biggest one of your career so far?
Your next fight's always your biggest fight, but yes, as far as magnitude of my opponent, absolutely, he's fought the best of the best. He's almost beat the champ that's undefeated, and this is a huge fight. This fight puts a stamp on my name that shows I'm a contender in this weight class, and it gets me back in the top 10. And it's just an exciting fight. I mean, look at our styles. We're gonna brawl, so it's gonna be fun. And he's definitely, I guess, my biggest test today.
Absolutely. Well, right now, Gastelum is on a 3-fight skid against big names in the division. How do you feel about Kelvin coming into this fight? Do you feel he's bringing it like he's trying to stay under contract with the UFC?
Yeah, absolutely. The guy doesn't want to lose his job. He doesn't want to continue to lose. Losing's a terrible thing, and he's had to, have that taste in his mouth for way too long. So I'm expecting him to be training hard, to be on weight, ready to fight. One of the best performances of his life. But if I'm training for that guy, if he's, I'm training to beat that guy, and if I can beat that guy, I can beat whatever Gastelum shows up.
Yeah, and you fought through so much adversity to be here in this moment. Knowing that you've survived through all those battles outside the cage, is there any comfort in the chaos of the UFC?
Any what?
Any comfort in the chaos that is the UFC?
Oh yeah, they call me the king of controversy for a reason, I guess I thrive in that chaos, and this is a sport that totally matches my lifestyle, and it's something legal I can do, and it's a way I can make a positive impact too using my testimony. It's actually pretty cool. The day after my fight on the 14th is my 7-year anniversary of freedom, so this is a big one for me, and I'm excited to celebrate that day with my wife, and get this big win.
Well, in that regard, can you speak to anyone battling demons who are not as athletically gifted as you are?
Yeah, I mean, I was, 7 years ago, I was rock bottom in a foreign prison cell, truly at rock bottom in my life. And 4 years after that, I got into the UFC. 7 years, I'm on a pay-per-view card fighting one of the top guys in the division. And I'm an ex-drug addict. I'm an ex-convict. I've got 2 autoimmune diseases. Everyone told me I was too old to try MMA. I started when I was 26. So, anyone out there hearing this that needs inspiration, don't listen to the doubters and the haters and the people say you can't do it. Pursue God, look to Him, and see what your God-given destiny is, and He will show you the path. And anything is possible with Him and hard work and putting your soul and your heart into something.
Thank you, sir. Final question from me. In a recent interview, you stated that your life has been like a movie. How does the Saturday part of this movie, co-starring Kelvin Gastelum, will play in the MMA's fan screen?
Yeah, this chapter of the movie, this chapter of the book, this part of the movie, with me, Kelvin Gastelum, going out there, putting on just an insane performance, stealing the show, and me getting my hand raised.
Thank you so much for your time, Ian.
Thank you.
Best of luck in your fight.
Thank you.
We'll take our next set of questions from Eric Idison with Kimura.
Hi, Ian. Thanks for letting us talk to you.
Yeah, no worries.
You said in earlier interviews that you want to show your grappling skills more. Could we see you trying to take the fight to the ground on Saturday?
Yeah, one of the key things for me in this fight is to have a good mixture, I want to strike with him, I want to clinch with him, and I also do want to take him down and show some of this, wrestling game that I've kind of faltered off of, getting all those knockouts in my early days and falling in love with the striking and kind of getting away from my wrestling. I've really turned back and focused on that while continuing to grow my boxing. But you're gonna see a mixture of everything. But I'm expecting you to see some powerful, explosive takedowns and good wrestling.
All right, cool. And with the win against Gastelum, how far away do you think you are from a title contention?
This year my goal is just to stay super active, and obviously I want to get 4 W's this year, and 4 fights is a lot when you're in that top 10, but even if I got 3, I want to just make a name for myself. I want to beat these guys. I want people to know I'm a force to be reckoned with in the middleweight division, and be in title contention by 2022.
All right, cool. And you kind of answered this question before, but we all heard about your incredible journey before joining the UFC. But do you still get nervous for fights, or is fighting in the UFC nothing compared to your past life experiences?
No, I mean, I get it's a mixture between excitement and nervousness, and more nervous of just of performing, right? You work so hard for so long. You don't want to have that bad night. You don't want to show up sick. You don't want to, And that's happened to me before. So that would be the only nervousness that it comes from. But I enjoy what I do. And, you know, I've been in situations where you can get in a fight and there's no one to pull anyone off. So it's do or die. And, you know, we're in a cage where a ref is there. So it's a little different magnitude as far as that. But the excitement and nerves always come. And actually, you can use those for fuel. And that's what I do.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ian. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for you, sir.
Okay. No worries.
Next up, we will be joined by the number 15 ranked UFC women's flyweight, Alexa Grasso. We now welcome the number 15 ranked UFC women's flyweight contender, Alexa Grasso. Alexa, thank you so much for the time today.
Hello.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Okay.
Hello, Alexa. How are you?
Hi, great, and you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Alexa, a lot of people, when they keep talking about this fight, they say, can Alexa defend the takedowns of Macy Barber? I know a lot of people, say that may be a weakness. What is your answer to those people who say that that's going to be a tough part of the fight for you?
Yeah, I know I've had troubles, but with top, like high-level wrestlers, but I've been working so hard on that. I know that my strongest weapon is striking, but I've been working so hard on my wrestling too.
Can I ask, when you're in a fight like that, a tough one like Carla Esparza, Tatiana Suarez, obviously everyone knows, well, you need to work on everything, but when you get done with those fights, when you went back to the gym, what did you want to work on the most to learn and get better?
Well, and especially that on wrestling, wrestle more, try also do takedowns by myself to understand more. It's not just like defending. You have to understand how to do this to defend better.
Can you talk a bit about how your body is feeling now for your second fight at flyweight? I know the last one you moved up, but as you've had more time and to work, how are you feeling compared to when you fought at strawweight?
Well, I feel amazing. This is the best 5 week ever. I feel with energy. I feel happy. I'm not tired. I am not sleepy. So it feels great. My body is saying like a thank you. All my camp was amazing. I was training very hard. I changed a lot of things. I was able to do more time of hard work.
You have a lot of passionate fans who support you. How do you feel when people say, Macy is the future, pero yo voy con la futura, Alexa Grasso?
It's nice. I am really thankful with everyone who supports me. This is going to be an amazing fight.
My final question, I'm asking all of the fighters this. Here in the United States, you guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. Alexa, what is your idea of a perfect Valentine's Day?
Well, for me, the perfect Valentine's Day is going to be to wake up, with some purple eyes, happy with a win in my heart and for my country.
Thank you, Alexa. Good luck.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Alfredo Bush with Claro Sports.
Okay.
Hola Alexa, qué gusto saludarte, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, muchas gracias. Aquí ya sabes. Oye, pues antes que nada, platícame, ¿qué tan complicada fue la preparación para esta pelea, tomando en cuenta que en particular en Guadalajara hubo más lockdowns, o sea, estuvo más cerrado todos los gimnasios y demás? ¿Qué tanto se complicó debido a la pandemia esta preparación en particular?
Bueno, creo que todas las personas tuvimos dificultades para poder entrenar. Obviamente también estábamos con incertidumbre, ¿no? De que te podías volver a enfermar, de que no sabíamos quién ya le había dado, a quién no, quién podía traer el virus de nuevo al gimnasio, pero eh, ni modo, ¿no? Tuvimos que tomar unos cuantos riesgos. El entrenamiento siempre se hizo. En mi casa tuve que adaptar uno de los cuartos. Puse mats en la pared, en el piso, un costal para ground and pound. Mi coach en su casa también tuvo que poner mats para poder entrenarnos ahí. Entonces, agradecida, la verdad, porque tuvimos la oportunidad de nunca parar, de que con lo que teníamos, con las personas que estaban disponibles, con ellos fue con quienes entrenamos. Entrené todo el tiempo con mi coach Francisco, con mi compañera Irene, con Diego López. Ellos fueron los que más me ayudaron y estuvieron todo el tiempo conmigo.
Esta pelea lo platicabas ya en inglés, pero también te lo tendría que preguntar en español. Es la segunda que tienes en 125 y se te ve diferente, te ves más tranquila, te ves más a gusto. ¿Es eso lo que proyectas? ¿Es como te sientes?
Claro, claro que sí. La verdad es que me siento muy bien, me siento diferente, me siento en el peso en el que siempre estoy yo, ¿sabes? No es como en Strawweight que tenía que bajar demasiadas libras para, pum, volver a rebotarlas. No, estoy acostumbrada a un peso de pelea en el que estoy aproximadamente casi siempre, entonces creo que eso está padre, ¿no? Y estás acostumbrada a este mismo peso, a estarlo manejando, moviendo, levantándote, entonces la verdad es que me siento muy bien, sí soy más feliz.
Claro. Oye, por las propias circunstancias de todo esto de la pandemia, te ponen en un lugar especial, el UFC decide ponerte en la pelea coestelar en un pago por evento. Para ti, a nivel personal, ¿qué representa esta posibilidad?
Bueno, la verdad es que es la quinta vez que me dejan hacer en un coestelar. La primera vez un pay-per-view, entonces estoy muy agradecida. Creo que UFC sabe lo mucho que trabajamos, lo mucho que la pasión con la que entreno, con lo que, pues sí, entrego mi corazón, ¿no? Todos los días en el entrenamiento y en la jaula. Entonces, pues gracias, solo estoy agradecida y demostrar que va a ser una gran pelea.
La última de mi parte, Alexa, una cartelera que también tiene mucho sabor mexicano, estás tú, está Kelvin, podría ser un buen día para México, ¿no?
Claro, va a ser un excelente día para México.
Muy bien, te agradezco, mucha suerte, que estés muy bien.
Adiós, cuídate.
We will take the next set of questions from Augusto Niez-Gay with Somos MMA.
¿Me escuchás?
Sí.
Ah, ¿qué tal, Alexa? ¿Cómo estás?
Ah, ya.
Quisiera preguntarte, justamente continuando con el tema de que es una cartelera que tiene mucho sabor para México, en cuanto a lo que estuviste hablando en las últimas horas sobre el hecho de que Brandon Moreno haya sido el primer mexicano nacido en México en ir por el título, que vaya a tener la revancha y demás, te quiero preguntar si te deja un sabor amargo el hecho de que no haya público, de que todos los seguidores que tenés en México, en Estados Unidos y bueno, en todas partes del mundo, no puedan ir a verte. ¿Te deja un sabor amargo eso?
Pues claro, claro que siento, no amargo, solo es raro, ¿no? Porque muchas personas me dicen, ay, yo quiero ir a verte pelear en vivo, yo quería ir a las peleas, yo quería viajar, echarte porras, y pues eso está fuera de nuestro control, ¿no? No hay nada que podamos hacer, pero ojalá que pronto se pueda regresar a que tengamos público.
Y Alexa, hablando ya de la pelea, ¿no? Macy Barber viene de una derrota, de un año de estar parada por la lesión. ¿Crees que eso va a ser un factor en la pelea que puede llegar a influir o no le das mucha importancia a eso?
Bueno, yo también he estado en esa situación, también me he lastimado y he dejado de pelear por un largo tiempo, entonces sé con la mentalidad que regresas después de una lesión así. Entonces estoy esperando su mejor versión y estamos listos para eso.
¿Qué es lo que, de qué tenés que cuidarte más con Maycee Barber dentro del octágono?
Am, pues creo que de todo, ¿no? Es una peleadora completa, así que todas las áreas están cubiertas.
Y bueno, ¿y cuál es la clave para vos o en qué estuviste trabajando y afinando detalles para poder llevarte la victoria el fin de semana?
Bueno, obviamente todos saben que el striking es mi arma más fuerte, pero pues creo, por lo que ha dicho en sus entrevistas, el wrestling es en el área que va a querer contraatacar mi juego, entonces estamos listos, como te digo.
Bien, perfecto, Alexa. Muchas gracias y lo mejor para el fin de semana.
Gracias igual.
Thank you, guys.
We will take the next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Okay.
Hey, Alexa, when we spoke before your last fight, you talked about how much healthier and happier you were as a flyweight, and now you've gone through that first fight. Do you feel like your body has acclimated to flyweight in terms of adding the extra size, dealing with bigger girls, things like that?
Yeah, well, my body feels amazing. I feel happier. Honestly, I enjoy every second of the training, every second of the fight week, every second of the next weight cut. So yes, it's amazing. I like to feel my body like it's able and it's feeling great, like really great.
When you came in the UFC, you were immediately labeled as, one of the top prospects in the sport. But now that you're, with this fight with Macy Barber, co-main event on a pay-per-view, do you feel like this is your time to kind of transcend from being a prospect to actually, being a contender, to start making that run for a title?
Yeah, of course, this is the goal. She has the top 10, the number I want. So I've been training so hard to get on that spot.
When you look at Macy, obviously she had been a pretty dominant fighter up until that Roxanne Modafferi fight. And again, she suffered an injury, so it is what it is. But what have you thought of Macy? Have you been impressed by what you've seen out of her?
Yeah, I mean, she's young and she's very tough, but I feel I'm ready. She's a great obstacle and a great challenge for me.
And last question, being in the co-main event of a pay-per-view is a special opportunity. It's a chance to really shine, on the biggest stage. And you've fought in main events. You've done these kind of things before. But how big is this particular fight for you in terms of sending a message, to the flyweight division, not only that you've arrived, but also that you are a contender, that Valentina Shevchenko and the other contenders should pay attention to you because, the spotlight is going to be on you this weekend.
Yes, I know. Every fight we train for, the goal is always to get on the championship. So I just want to show my job. I just want to show the world what we've been working for in Mexico. And yeah, I just start with my job.
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Mike Garcia with Palco.
Hola Alexa, ¿me escuchas?
Sí, hola.
Hola, mucho gusto. Tenía rato que no platicaba contigo. Bueno, ya lo platicabas en español. Es una pelea muy importante. Te sientes cómoda en esta división. Y mencionabas hace unos momentos, ¿no? Que tu rival va a llegar con unas ganas enormes de querer sacar esa adrenalina. ¿Cómo vislumbras este combate? Digo, las dos son muy buenas strikers. ¿Piensas que la pelea se puede desarrollar totalmente de pie?
Bueno, o sea, por mí estaría increíble que toda la pelea se fuera de pie. Yo encantada. Pero esto es MMA, así que yo también quiero poner en práctica todo lo que he aprendido en lucha y jiu-jitsu. No solamente quiero que me vean a mí como una striker, ¿no? Quiero poner como en la última pelea y en la penúltima pelea ya les demostré que ya estoy haciendo derribes, ya estoy intentando más sumisiones. Entonces, pues quiero demostrar absolutamente todas las áreas.
Viendo un poquito las estadísticas de tu rival, tiene un alto porcentaje de victorias por knockout. Tu última victoria por knockout fue en el 2014, Alexa. ¿Puedes pronosticar que se pueda ir por esa vía en esta pelea?
Pues lo voy a intentar, lo voy a intentar de nuevo.
Ya por último, nada más para complementar, hoy México vive un excelente momento, ¿no? Ya se tocaron puertas importantes, Pantera Rodríguez estuvo ya en carteleras estelares, Brandon Moreno ya está peleando por un título, Irene Aldana, ya estás tú, pero ¿qué hace falta para México? Para que ya dé ese saltito, ¿no? Que es el que hace falta para complementar todos estos largos años de trabajo, estos largos años de esfuerzo. ¿Qué le hace falta a México para dar ese gran paso, Alexa?
Estamos a nada, ¿ok? Solo es cuestión de tiempo. Nosotros a lo mejor en México no tenemos esta cultura de que a los niños desde pequeños se les inculca la lucha o deportes de contacto. En México solamente tenemos el box, que es nuestro sello de garantía, pero creo que solamente cuestión de tiempo, ¿sabes? Era un deporte nuevo, femenil todavía más nuevo, pero como se están dando cuenta, ahí vamos, ¿no? Ahí vamos, estamos picando piedra y cada vez más duro y cada vez más fuerte y cada vez nos acercamos más, entonces solo es cuestión de tiempo.
Muchas gracias y suerte en tu pelea.
Gracias.
Thank you so much, Alexa. That is all the time we had for you.
Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by the #1 ranked UFC welterweight contender and one half of our main event this weekend, Gilbert Burns. We now welcome the #1 ranked UFC welterweight contender, Gilbert Burns. Gilbert, thank you for the time today, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cape Side Press.
Hey, Gilbert, how are you?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. I want to ask just your thoughts on some of the big welterweight fights coming up. First off, I think the soonest, Leon Edwards, Hamzat Chimaev. Who do you think wins that one and why?
That's a tough one. I'll be looking very closely. And I don't know. I think if Leon wins, he'll be next. If Kamzat wins, I still believe he needs to do one more. But I got Kamzat Chimaev a little bit more because of the wrestling. I think he looks like he can't take Leo Edwards down and control him over there. But yeah, I give a little, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But I give a little bit more edge for Kamzat Chimaev in that fight.
Another big one people are talking about, they expect Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington. Kind of similar to you guys, old teammates, now they're rivals. What do you think of that fight and who wins?
I don't think that fight ever gonna get finalized. I just don't believe it's gonna be a freaking drama show. But if that fight ever comes, to fruition, I do believe Colby Covington wins with the pace and the wrestling. But I don't believe that fight's gonna happen.
If it doesn't, how would you feel about possibly being a coach on The Ultimate Fighter against one of these guys?
Yeah, it's always a possibility. Why not? I think what I heard that Masvidal turned it down because he doesn't pay well to be, working so much to be on the Ultimate Fighter. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. But yeah, if I get compensated good, why not?
My final question, Gilbert. I'm asking all the fighters this. You guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend here in the United States. What is Gilbert Burns' idea of a romantic Valentine's Day?
It just be with my wife. She's gonna be all my girlfriend, Bruna Burns. She's always on my corner. She always supporting me. So a good day will be, taking her out, give her a couple of gibbets, show her how much I love her, and we'll be there Sunday night. I'll bring her a belt for her.
Hey, thank you, Gilbert, and good luck.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Rodrigo Tenori with AG Fight.
Oi, Durinho, tudo bem?
Fala, Rodrigão, tranquilo, irmão?
Tudo bem, tudo tranquilinho, obrigado. Ô, Durinho, aqui, a gente se falou recentemente, e você agora teve a recente visita aí do Vitor Belfort, né, na Sanford MMA. Queria saber como é que foi isso, o que é que ele te falou, se foi uma coisa inesperada, já estava programado.
Então, eu venho treinando com o Vitor mais ou menos uma vez por semana. Ele vai para academia. Na verdade, ele não tem nada de luta fechada ainda, mas o bichão tá sempre em forma, tem a academia dele. E ele geralmente vai segunda-feira, ele vai lá na academia treinar. A gente faz toda segunda, eu faço um treino com ele. É o treino de kickboxing do Henry, ele gosta de fazer. Então, toda segunda, tem umas 5, 6 segunda-feira já que eu venho treinando com ele. Mas ele apareceu na academia na quarta, cara. Hum, Eu acho que foi na quarta, eu já não sei o dia que foi, mas ele passou lá e a gente fez um treinão. E, puto, o Vitor é uma enciclopédia, meu irmão, sabe muito de luta, conhece o jogo do Kamaru também, deu vários toques ali, eu falei mais ou menos o que eu quero fazer. Ele jogou a pimentinha ali, botou a salsa no molho ali, o bicho sabe muito, é sempre bom aprender com o Vitor, que o bicho sabe, o nego não tem noção de quanto o Vitor sabe de MMA.
Total, total. E você acha que ele vai fazer aí mais uma luta? Como é que você tá achando aí que vai ser o futuro do Vitor aí?
Ele não falou muito de agora, que não tem data nem oponente, não, mas eu acho que ele vai fazer mais uma, assim, pelo menos uma, e acabar aí, tipo, com vitória, né? Eu acho que todo mundo quer aposentar lá no alto ganhando, e ele tem esse desejo, e eu acho que eu acho que ele vai fazer mais uma luta. Eu não sei quando, não sei contra quem, mas eu acho que ainda tem mais uma luta ali no, na manga para ele fazer, né?
Ô, Durinho, e agora falando em cinturão, campeão, você está muito confiante, obviamente, e no UFC a gente vê que muitos campeões, eles já querem fazer lutas em outras categorias, né? Você vê agora o Adesanya, o próprio Volkanovski, que também falou isso recentemente. Você, tendo esse cinturão, você gostaria também de enfrentar, por exemplo, algum grande nome da categoria de baixo, já que você também já atuou ali nos leves? Como é que você vê isso? Você quer realmente focar ali nos meio médios?
Cara, não sei. Descer hoje em dia é muito difícil, bro. Descer, pelo amor de Deus, vai ser difícil. Subir sempre dá, né? Ainda mais eu tenho, pô, graças a Deus aí tem uma genética boa, dá pra eu subir. Descer não dá não, mas, putz, é plano muito pra frente. Tipo, nem parei pra pensar nisso ainda não. Tem já uma pedreira aí me esperando aí sábado à noite, tô focado em, meu irmão, dar o meu máximo até lá. Graças a Deus, o Pedro está, meu irmão, onde eu queria que, onde eu queria que ele tivesse. O Pedro está, graças a Deus, nos trinques ali, né, as contas deram certinho. Bateu o peso hoje à noite, amanhã cedo subi na balança, fiz só, meu irmão, encarada e ir contra a luta. Não tô nem pensando no depois, tô pensando. Só tenho schedule, só tenho missão até sábado. Não sei o que eu vou fazer domingo. Só tenho plano até sábado.
Não, pô, eu te entendo e agradeço novamente aí pela sua disponibilidade. Pô, boa sorte aí no sábado. Um abração.
Valeu, Rodrigão. Obrigado.
We will take the next set of questions from Luis Fernando Coutinho with Canal Encarada.
Fala, Durinho, tudo bem? Tá me ouvindo bem?
Fala, Coutinho, tranquilo, meu irmão. Os caras me enrolaram ontem, que você não tem noção de tanto de coisa que eu tive que fazer ontem. Não deu pra fazer aquela explosiva lá, foi mal, mas, meu irmão, você tem noção tanto de coisa que eu fiz ontem.
Não tem problema, a gente sempre dá um jeito de te achar, não faz mal. Durinho, a primeira pergunta que eu queria te fazer é a seguinte: você, durante essa semana, já cruzou com o Kamaru, os corredores? Como é que foi esse encontro?
Acabei de cruzar com ele agora, 5 minutos, eu tava vindo pra cá. Não tem 5 minutos que eu já rolou a primeira encarada ali. E foi na boa, cara. A gente só deu soquinho ali. Falei com o Jorge Santiago, falei com o Trevor Whitman, o irmão dele tava lá. Tinha uma galera, tava um bondão dele e eu tava sozinho. Mas foi da hora, tipo, olhei no olho dele ali, energia normal de sempre. Bateu, falei com os caras e vim aqui pra sala fazer as entrevistas. Teve nada a mais, não teve rompimento, não teve nada, não, foi tranquilo.
Mas já deu pra perceber que a chave já virou, né? Tipo, aquele clima de luta, de respeito, mas
Vai ter o respeito, não tem como não respeitar o cara, a história do cara. A gente treinou pra caramba junto, suamos junto várias vezes, mas é guerra, meu irmão. Eu sei o problema que eu tô para enfrentar, ele também sabe, meu irmão, vai ser guerra.
Agora, Durinho, embora o Kamaru seja um amigo, né, ex-companheiro de treinos, alguma parte de você preferia estar enfrentando um cara com algum nível de rivalidade para despertar um fogo maior em você, ou você se sente tranquilo aonde você está? Porque, bem ou mal, vocês têm se respeitado, mas também ninguém está passando a mão na cabeça de ninguém, né, nas declarações.
Não, tem o respeito, mas a gente vai lutar, meu irmão, vai sair na mão e ah, é, não muda muito pra mim, não. Você vê, minha última luta, eu falei pra caramba pra pegar aquela luta com o Garoto ali, eu tive que provocar ele, eu tive que falar, eu tive que fazer postagem, zoar. Mas se você ver a luta anterior, foi contra o Demian, cara. O cara que eu respeito, putz, sinistramente. Então, pra mim não muda muito, não, cara. Eu entro ali. Na verdade, coach, eu tô no esporte pra ser o melhor, meu irmão. Venho treinando pra caramba minha vida inteira pra ser o melhor. Quem tiver com cinturão, meu irmão, eu vou lutar. Se fosse o Kobe, se fosse o Demian, se fosse o Woodley, se fosse o Kamaru, eu tô indo lá pra ganhar, independente se eu tenho uma empatia pelo cara ou não, eu tô lá para ganhar.
Agora, Durinho, a gente viu a declaração do Cormier, né, falando da questão de os dois sempre treinaram juntos, então eles sabem quem será o vencedor de sábado. A gente viu que isso já até repercutiu no Media Day. Mas falando em português para o público brasileiro te ouvir, o que você achou dessa declaração? Você concorda que os dois sabem quem vai sair vencedor no sábado por já terem treinado juntos diversas vezes?
Cara, os dois não sabem não, que eu acredito que eu vou ganhar. Ele acredita que ele vai ganhar, alguém tá errado. E alguém tá errado. Não é tipo, não tem essa. Já bati muito nele, já me bateu muito também. Já trocamos várias informações. Cara, eu tô cheio de armadilha no jogo aqui, não tô subestimando, sei que é um problema grande que eu tenho pela frente ali, mas eu tô cheio de armadilha, meu irmão. Que ela já entrou, já viu aqueles desenhos assim que tu entra na casa ali, tem ratoeira para tudo que é canto. Meu irmão, o esquema da estratégia tá assim, tem ratoeira para tudo que é canto. Se aquele negão pisar de lado, vai, meu irmão, vai cair na armadilha. Então, não tô subestimando ele, não tô super confiante, não tem nada disso. Tô no equilíbrio ali, confiante, mas eu sei que vai ser difícil, mas alguém tá errado. Eu acho que eu vou ganhar, ele acha que ele vai ganhar. Tem vários treinadores que estão comigo ali, várias gente estão comigo ali, então alguém tá errado. Vamos ver quem tá errado sábado à noite.
E, Durinho, por último, queria te perguntar, quando você visualiza a noite de sábado, como é que você visualiza a sua vitória? Como o Durinho se torna campeão do UFC contra o Kamaru Usman?
Então, eu quero fazer uma luta bem agressiva desde o começo. Vai ser uma luta muito de controle de distância, controle de espaço ali. Quem controlar o espaço, a distância, vai estar na vantagem. E, putz, mas eu vejo gente fazendo tudo, Coutinho, eu vendo a gente trocando, saindo na mão, eu vejo sim a gente fazendo grade, eu vejo sim a gente fazendo jiu-jitsu, o wrestling, mas, putz, no final de tudo, eu vejo meu braço sendo levantado aí, eu vejo uma finalização, um nocaute aí, não no comecinho, não no primeiro round, não no segundo round, mas eu vejo sim um nocaute ou uma finalização e vou estar buscando e trabalhando muito para isso e acredito que vai acontecer.
Boa, Durinho, obrigado. Boa sorte, cara. Thank you, guys.
Eu curti.
We will take the next set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Gilbert. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is, this makes more interesting to watch because you were friends, and we should expect fireworks because you know each other so well.
Yeah, I know him a lot. He knows me a lot, and there's a little intrigue, right? Because I do believe I'm gonna win. He does believe he gonna win, and then we'll find out Saturday night, and then I think the little advantage that I have is my teammates know him a lot too. My coach know him a lot too. His coach doesn't know me that much, and the thing with me is I believe I'm a different animal at that division, at the welterweight division. I believe I still have that quickness, the speed of a lightweight, but I hit like a middleweight and best jiu-jitsu in the game, and dangerous guy on the welterweight that I believe that I am. So I'm a different animal, and then we're gonna find out Saturday night.
For sure, for sure. Where do you think Kamaru is more dangerous? Do you think he will try to grapple with you knowing that you can't submit him because you said that yesterday?
I think he'll try to grapple me. That was a little bite that I sent to him. You know, I want him to grapple, but I do believe we're gonna grapple. We're gonna wrestle. He's for sure superior in me on the wrestling, very high level wrestling, but I'm superior in the jiu-jitsu. And the striking might be a little even, but I know I got a lot more power, so it's gonna be a good one. You guys should tune in. It's gonna be a good one.
Okay. No matter what the result is, do you think you might get a beer or celebrate together at the end of the night?
Maybe, maybe. I still gonna respect him a lot, and the respect for me is gonna be big. But I don't know if we're gonna celebrate together. You know, because one guy is gonna be very happy, the other guy is gonna be very sad. I don't think the celebration will be together. For sure, will be, you know, maybe a toast, or maybe, you know, a couple hugs and, you know, shaking hands. But celebrating together, I don't think so.
Sharing a little moment, I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That
for
for
sure.
sure.
And what's your prediction for this fight?
I predict a finish. You know, I do believe I'm gonna finish him with the jiu-jitsu or with the knockout, and that's the way to see the fight finishing.
Okay, and the last thing for me is here in Ecuador, a lot of people is rooting for you. Would you like to send a message to your Ecuadorian fans?
Yeah, you want me to do that in English, or my Spanish is not great, but you know, I can try a little bit.
If you can do it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, gracias a todos os amigos ecuatorianos que tenho allá. Tenho um amigo em Quito, em vários, em diferentes lugares em Equador. So, quero que todos estejam lá, torcida, mandando muita força. Vou dar o máximo em minha peleia e um dia quero muito conhecer a Equador. Tenho muitos amigos lá, Quito, Guayaquil, Quito, muchos lugares, tenemos muchos amigos allá. So, vamos a estar en la torcida y voy a estar representando a todos los latinos. Sábado, la noche, mire la pelea, vamos con todo.
Your Spanish is very good, and thank you very much for your time, Gilbert. And Ecuador will receive you with a lot of house here. Good luck on the match.
I'm coming to Ecuador for sure.
We will take our next set of questions from Nikita Gorshenin with Sport Express.
Gilbert, big pleasure to talk to you, my man.
Yeah, my pleasure. How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Gilbert, your debut in UFC was in 2014. If somebody told you that year, 2014, that, Gilbert, listen, your first UFC title shot will be only in 7 years in 2021, what would you answer this person? Man, it's too long, or man, it's normal, can't wait.
Back then I thought it would be too long, you know, because I did believe I'll become a champion undefeated, but everything happens to a reason, you know. And then I got a couple losses that I'm thankful for those losses, because I became way more mature. I learned so much, and I think I took that loss with me. You know, wherever I go, I bring the loss with me, because it made who I am. So yeah, sometimes it's not on our time, you know, but I believe in God works. So I'm grateful. It is what it is, and I love the journey. I love the coach. I love the training. I love my teammates, my team, my family, and I don't think I would change a thing.
Gilbert, do you remember your last conversation with Kamaru, and what was this conversation about?
Last conversation we had was just, hey, how you doing? How's everything? How you recovered from COVID? Yeah, good. And today I just saw him on the way here, and they were just fist bump. He didn't say anything. We're in a fight mode already. We're gonna fight each other. So talk's almost over. We might talk during the fight a little bit.
Gilbert, you combine unique skills. You jitsu of world class, and you have knockout power in both hands. You knocked out with one punch with your right hand, and you can knock out with your left hand. Before UFC, I saw knockout when you throw that left hook and guy fell like paralyzed. It was terrifying. So now on this stage of your career, psychologically, you believe more in your knockout power or in your ground game? And how do you think you have more chances to submit Kamaru or knock him out?
Yeah, those chances are very even, you know, it's a 50-50. My jiu-jitsu in such a high level, and I make sure I keep my jiu-jitsu super sharp. And on the other hand, I put so much work in my boxing, the kickboxing, that I know I have a lot of power in my hands. Technique is getting better on stand-up, and I don't know. I'm gonna get a finish, but you know, you can pick your poison. It's gonna be, if you want to strike, we're gonna strike. But if you want to grapple, we're gonna grapple, and we can pick your poison with me. If you want to strike, get ready. But if you want to grapple, that's my house right there. So I'm very confident either way, and I'm gonna be looking for both ways. You know, I got a couple ways to finish this fight and a couple other fights. That's the thing. I'm gonna be looking for a finish.
Gilbert, you have, I've never seen such beautiful armbar transition as in you, because the one you pulled off against Lucas Sayevsky, it was just amazing. He just put his hand on the canvas and you grab this hand, you just finish him. I would like to ask you, do you still work hard on your armbar setups, and how it's happened that you are so special in pulling off this submission?
That's my favorite submission to drill until today. Favorite submission. If you ask, I like to drill arm bars, and my coach, that's my coach's fault. You know, not fault, but that's my coach from Brazil, Oriente Jiu-Jitsu in Niterói, professor, my teacher, Rafael Barros. It would just make me armbar every single day, armbar from the bottom, armbar from the top, armbar from the mount, armbar from the back, side control from everywhere. We just drill arm bars every day. So that's thanks to my coach.
Have you ever submit Kamaru with armbar in sparrings?
Yeah, everybody at the gym. I got everyone's arm already in the gym.
Gilbert, in terms of belts system in BJJ, how now would you rate Kamaru's BJJ? His black belt or his brown belt? How would you rate his jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, he's a black belt for sure. I know his coach, George Santiago. I work with George Santiago a lot. George Santiago is a master Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So much respect for him. And for sure, if George gave him a black belt, for sure he deserves. I'm not here to rank nobody. No, I'm not his coach. His coach, he gave him a black belt. He's a black belt, you know.
Gilbert, the last one from me. We all saw in Embedded that you have now this amazing suit, wine color. I wonder, can you tie a tie by yourself, or maybe your wife will help you with that?
I can't. I'm not gonna lie, I can't. My guy Mark Russell, he already did. He's already tight, and I got a backup. You know, if I need to do it again, my corner Daniel Evangelista, he can do it for me. But I hope I don't need to touch on that because it's already done. But I can't. I can't do a lot of things. I can cook. I can cut weight. I can corner. I can teach. I can fight. I can do a lot of things, but no, I don't play with ties yet. Maybe soon.
Thank you so much, Gilbert. Fuck.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Gilbert. That is all the time we had for you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Next up, we will be joined by UFC middleweight Maki Pitolo. We now welcome UFC middleweight Maki Pitolo. Maki, thank you for the time today, sir.
What's up, guys? Thank you.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cape Side Press.
Hey, Maki, how are you?
Doing good.
So first fight of 2021 for you. I mean, obviously, when you've had a big year like last year with a lot of fights, I'm assuming you go into the new year with some new resolutions and new plans for what you would like. Can you just talk about what you have planned for this year?
This year, just look to find myself in the middleweight division, really make a name for myself and get on the street.
Now to finally be in the UFC, I guess, you know, not your first fight officially in the octagon. Now you've had a bit of experience. Just what has surprised you the most about being a part of the big show?
Kind of nothing much. This is what I expected. This is where I wanted to be. This is where I want to be. Yeah, so nothing much, man. I'm just prepping myself for the bigger dogs and getting ready to show the best version of myself every time I get in there.
We haven't seen Julian Marquez in a minute. So just what are you expecting from him? Just do you study a lot of tape? Do you feel like that wouldn't be accurate when you're doing your strategy? Just how have you prepared for him since he's been gone?
I'm just prepping for the best version of him. I know he hasn't fought for 2 years, so that's a big layoff and a big time to become a different type of fighter. So I'm expecting the best version of him, and I have been training for him to see the best version of myself.
My final question, I'm asking all of the fighters this. You guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. Maki, what's your idea of the perfect Valentine's Day?
A long walk on the beach back home and a good dinner.
I mean, that sounds great, man. Hey, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Ryan McCarthy with Low Kick MMA.
Hey, Maki, how's it going, man?
How's it going? I'm doing good.
Good. Can we just get your thoughts on Julian Marquez as an opponent overall? Any weaknesses, any strengths that really jump out to you?
He's a good fighter. He's a big boy, so I'm expecting him to have that good cardio blast in the first round and then kind of become heavy-footed later on in the fight. And that's where I look to capitalize. I got good cardio. I got a good gas tank. And I feel like that's where I can put the most pressure on him.
Cool. And then how about 2021 for you, man? How many fights are you trying to stay active? What's the ideal 2021 look like for you?
Ideal 2021, at least a good 4 fights. But if I can get more, that'll be awesome. And I'm looking to just provide the best fights I can possibly put out there. Entertain.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And entertain.
For sure. And then how about a post-fight meal after a nice W on Saturday? What's that look like for you?
Big glass of whiskey and some good old-fashioned Loco Moco.
Nice, man. Well, best of luck on Saturday. Good luck, and we really look forward to seeing you fight, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
We will take the next set of questions from Nikita Gorshenin with Sport Express. Nikita, your line is unmuted, sir. All right, we'll move on to our next journalist. We will take the next set of questions from Alfredo Bush with Claro Sports. Alfredo, your line has been unmuted, sir. Sorry about that, Maki. As a reminder to all the journalists participating, click the hand icon if you wish to be added to our queue for questions and you will be unmuted. Click the hand icon again if you are finished or if you want to be removed from the queue and don't have any questions. We will go to Luis Fernando Coutinho with Canal Encarada.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, ready for UFC 258. Ready to open up the car with a bang.
We're sorry about that, Maki. All right, we'll do a guaranteed one here. Can we
Hey, the
pass
quicker the
off
better.
to? Yes, sir. No, we'll take a set of questions from Zach Pakleb with UFC.com.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So you've trained a lot during and fought a lot during the pandemic. How have you kind of refined that process? If I understand correctly, you're living out here and training out here. So what was the process before you that?
After my last bout with Impa, I meant to just stay out here for a month, kind of get evaluated by the PI and kind of see how things roll around here. And I fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with the training out here. I kind of noticed that everything was open as long as you're getting tested and stuff like that and staying on your staying healthy, So it's been a big game changer for me. I finally got a good solid camp. The last 3 fights I've been in was kind of on my own, just kind of rallying my boys together. And when we could train, we'd train. And other than that, I would just be training on my own. So being able to be here in the pits with the boys, Brad, Puna guys, and seeing the way they roll over at Extreme Couture and having all the guys accept me in as part of their Ohana was real cool. And we here, man. I got a full camp. I've been at the PI with the best in the world. They've been getting me primed up. So I highly believe this is the best coconut bombs you guys are about to see.
Can you kind of speak to the, there are so many Hawaiian guys that are training on the kind of environment and, just the vibe that you guys have, coming from Hawaii to the ninth island that is Las Vegas and kind of making your home there.
Oh, 100%. It feels like home. Actually, we are the ninth island. This is the ninth island, I meant, and having the boys in there, it felt like it didn't skip a beat from back home, These guys, they're local, I'm local, and we really push each other to be the best versions that we can. And I felt that over these last months and just seeing the way the boys performed that. I mean, look at that, man. The tides are rising, the skills are rising, and so is the gym. And 2021 is a big year for us.
Where in your preparation does it feel the most different in terms of having all those training partners as opposed to back home where it's a little bit more locked down and you kind of have to go a little more rocky style with it?
I feel like that's where the biggest aspect comes in. These training partners are always on the mats. It's not confined to just a certain amount of people or no people at all. So that's the big game changer. I was able to grow in skill, knowledge, pick a lot of the guys' brains, and really grow out here.
The last one for me, obviously you've seen the winner circle on the other side of the so far in the UFC, but particularly with this statement on a pay-per-view opening up the card, what kind of statement do you want to make about you?
I just want them to know my name, get out there and show out. I train so hard. I put all these countless hours in on the mats just to go out there and have 15 to 25 minutes of the most fun I can and put on the most entertaining fights I can put on.
We're going to try this again. We're going to take the next set of questions from Cote Cruz with 4 to Win MMA.
Hey, Mikey, can you hear me?
Yep.
How you doing, brother? Good to talk to you.
Thank you, man. I'm doing great.
That's awesome. Well, you have one of the coolest nicknames in the game. It sounds good, and it speaks to your native land of Hawaii. Can you speak on the fighting tradition in Hawaii and where that comes from?
I mean, all the Hawaiians you see on the UFC roster, we're warriors, man. That kind of speaks to where we come from. It's in us. It's bred in us. That warrior spirit, it's always here. The mana, we like to call it. It's always in us, and we go into the ring, the octagon, to show it.
Well, after squeezing 3 fights in just the second half of the last year, do you plan to be just as active in 2021, considering that the last quick turnaround didn't result in your favor?
Yeah, I look to take any opportunity I can to get in there and have the experience that I want. So yeah, if the opportunity arises, I'll be ready for it.
Unfortunately, you're riding a 2-fight win losing skid at the moment. How do you plan to change the tides on Saturday?
I feel like I already have changed the tides by moving myself out here, being uncomfortable and living in the uncomfortable zone. They say if you're comfortable is where you don't make the growth, and where I'm comfortable, I'm obviously making the growth. So like I said, I feel like this is going to be the best version of coconut bombs that you guys will see.
How do you feel about your matchup with Julian Marquez? Do you feel you can expect a war this Saturday?
Yeah, I'm expecting the best version of him. It's exciting every time you get a fight, for all fighters. We go in there and we do what we love to do, compete.
Best of luck on Saturday, Mikey. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maki. That is the last set of questions we had for you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Next up, we will be joined by UFC lightweight Bobby Green. And please, as a reminder to everyone, if you still have your hand icon up but do not wish to ask a question, please select that hand icon again to be removed from the queue. We now welcome UFC lightweight Bobby Green. Bobby, thank you for the time today, sir. We will take the first set of questions from Ryan McCarthy with
What's up?
What's up?
How's it going, Bobby?
What's up, Ryan? What are you doing?
Good. Hope all is well. Hope the weight cut's going well as well. And can we get your thoughts on your opponent here, Jim Miller? Definitely a big name in the sport as well. Your overall thoughts on him going into this fight.
My overall thoughts on Jim. Great guy, hard worker, been through everybody in the industry. So what can I bring to the table to challenge Jim? What is he hasn't seen that he hasn't seen? And he hasn't seen me. He fought everybody, but you ain't fuck with me yet. And so when you mess with me, and everybody will tell you that guy moves different from everyone else, So, and he understands that. So, what it is that I bring to the table?
Yeah, for sure. And then, what does the ideal 2021 look like for you, Bobby? Are you trying to be active? A ton of fights? What would that look like for you?
I didn't know last year was gonna be fucking active. Okay, and make sure we're clear. I'm just doing me. I'm having fun. I'm on top of the world, baby. I'm on top of the world, and can't nobody stop this energy. I'm on top of the world. It's gonna be a great year. I don't know if it's gonna be 6 fights, if it'll be 2. I might get called next week to come back, and I'll say, hey, I'll do it. I'm down for whatever. There's no plan but God's plan. That's what I follow.
I love it, man. I love it. And then, can we get your thoughts on? Of course, you compete in the lightweight division. Lots of controversy in this division at the top. What are your thoughts? Who should be fighting for the title next in this division?
Who should be fighting for the title? That's a great question. For the title, I feel like Oliveira earned his keep. Dustin has earned his keep. Chandler's in the mix. That's so hard. If my feelings on it, I feel like Chandler needs one more. I feel like Dustin's put his work in, so he's going to be we already know that's the A side. The question is, who's the B side? Is it Gaethje number 2? Is it Conor number 2? Is it my dog Nate Diaz, which I would love to see that shit. Because Dustin pulled out. Dustin pulled out the fight, not Nate. But Nate doesn't want to fight up to 170, so it has to be at the 155 belt. If it's gonna be for the 55 belt, I think it's gotta be Charles and Dustin, if I got an opinion on it.
Yeah.
Which my opinion don't fucking matter, but you asked.
Yeah. Thanks for your time, Bobby. Best of luck on Saturday. Really look forward to seeing you compete.
All right, big dog.
We will take the next set of questions from Omer Murad-Safji with S Sport.
Hello, Bobby. How are you, sir?
How are you? Where are you from, bro?
I'm from Turkey, man.
Oh, Turkey. Okay. My girl was just out there in Turkey. I got to come out there and see y'all.
Okay, we're waiting you. We're waiting you, Bobby.
You gonna let me come stay with you?
Well, I don't understand.
You gonna let me spend a night?
Okay.
Can Bobby
For
Green
sure.
come stay at your house?
Okay, I'm waiting you.
You let me stay at your house?
Yeah. No
You gonna
problem.
take care of me? I'm not gonna get hurt?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
okay.
and
It's a
my
plan. It's a
brothers,
plan.
you and my brother will stay same home. No problem.
Okay, my brother. Yes, my brother. What were your questions?
Bobby, which one would you choose? Money match or belt match and title shot?
The money or the belt?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one would you choose?
My dog, my training partner, Pretty, he says it best. He says, I'd rather have a lot of money and not be known than to have like all the fame and no money. I'm gonna go with this side over here too. I'd rather have the money and not be known. Like, I still get it to this day. Guys like, who are you? They don't know who I am, but I've been in this game for like 8 years at least. I didn't fought the who's who of the who's who, and they keep telling me who I am. But I guess I'm gonna still choose the money, because at the end of the day, I'm still getting paid. You don't have to know who I am. I'm getting paid, and my family's taken care of. That's the most important. So to answer your question, money or the belt, I know it sounds really weird because money's the root of all evil, but money take care of a lot of fucking shit.
Okay, Bobby. You have been at the UFC for a very long time, you said so, but how would you describe this journey?
Huh?
How would you describe this UFC journey? You have been at the UFC for a very, very long time.
How would I describe it?
Yeah.
Can you see me? You can see me?
I can see you.
You can see my face. You see me? That's how I describe it. I describe it like this. Like, because I've been getting fucked. Okay? That's how I would describe this journey. But I'm here. I'm happy. I'm focused. I'm ready to have a good time. Let's get it.
Okay, Bobby. Thank you. Good luck on this Saturday, Bobby.
Thank you, Big Turkey. I'm gonna call you Big Turkey whenever I hear from you. I'm gonna call you Big Turkey.
Mersavji in Instagram. I'm waiting you, buddy.
Yes. There we go.
Okay, we will take the next set of questions from Alistair Bishop.
MMA Republic. Dear God, what is this guy doing?
You're doing great,
What is this guy doing? Who's next? Who's next at the office?
Mr. Alistair Bishop from MMA Republic, sir. Your line is unmuted.
Bobby Green, how are you, sir?
How are you, sir? Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa, and you're definitely more than welcome at my house.
South Africa. That's what's up. South Africa. Okay, I'm trying to get out there.
Anytime, buddy. Pull on in. We'll appreciate you here.
Okay. What's your question, Big
I just want to ask. You're obviously always very laid back, very excited. Do you still get those big pre-game nerves before a fight?
All the time. And I hate guys that act like they don't, you know? You got to be real with yourself. You're getting into a cage with a man that could change your freaking life, you know? Like, I done been through some wars, and I thought, like, look at myself in the mirror after the fight, I'm like, Jesus. You know, how many times can you look at yourself like that? But at the end of the day, bro, like, once you get in there, you're in it. And you can't get off the ride. It's in. So once I get out there, everything will take over itself.
You kept a really good busy schedule last year. Do you think this is an advantage for you coming into the new year, keeping that momentum going and that constant being active, being in the cage, getting that cage time? Is that serving as an advantage for you in the new year?
Would it serve to an advantage? I'm gonna be honest with you, no. I would think so because you're more comfortable. But every time I get in there, I'd be like, am I in here? I'll be feeling like I'm not me. You know, I don't know if this is weird type of thing, but it's almost like I'm watching me stand there like, bro, move your feet. And I'm not moving. I'm kind of like, still like watching myself. So every time I get in there, I still feel the same feelings. It just gotta kind of like get there. It'll get there on its own. It just gets there.
Talking about that schedule again, obviously being so busy and putting your body through all of that work, For a young and up and coming fighter, is that a kind of thing that you would suggest after a guy with going into your 40th fight, being a pro for so long? Would you recommend to the youngsters of today, keep a busy schedule as much as you can, or would you pace it out a little bit better?
I would say depending upon your goals, you know? Like, I wish I could be my homie Nate. Nate can go sit back for a year, sit back for 3 years, come back, make a ton of money, and be like, fuck you, I'm out of here. Call me when I get something important. But that's not me. I'm the little black guy on the team, you know? I got to put my work in, and I got to get my money. So it depends on what your goals are. I got a goal to make $1 million in the next 2 years. I will hit my goal. That's just what it is.
Talking about goals then, Bobby, you said $1 million. Besides the financial aspect, do you have other goals still left for your career in MMA?
My only other goal was to get respect from my peers, okay? I wanted Chael Sonnen. I wanted Joe Rogan. I wanted Big John McCarthy. I wanted Dana White. I want all these different people that are they've seen so many fights. They've seen the who's who. They saw the killer. They saw the guy that was quiet come up. They saw everybody. I just want them to say, hey, you're good in my book, bro. You're good in my book, Bob. You're good. And tell the camera that. Don't just tell me. Tell the camera that. Let the people know that, because the people will always say, well, who the fuck is that guy? Who's that guy? But if Joe Rogan said, he's good, then at least I get a little credit and I go, all right, I can set this down now.
You've got another legend coming up in Jim Miller. Is there any other legends on the list, or any legends' names that you still wish to face?
Legends on the list. Legends. Man, that's great. Who else is a legend that's still around? Like, my boy did said it. I've been here for a long time. I watched all universe leave. The guys there is no Gray Maynard. There is no Benson Henderson. He's not here. Those guys are gone. DC, I love the guy. Not Dominic Cruz, but I'm talking about Daniel Cormier. I was here. We had a title fights together in King of the Cage. Like, to watch him leave now. All the guys are leaving. I'm still here, you know? So, legends, I think there's only a few left. There was Clay. I got Clay already. I got Jim now, you know? There's not too many of those guys left. It's young guys. It's the new and uppercomers. It's not really guys that are still kicking in the sport like we do. There's only a few guys that can stand the test of time. Nate, Clay, Jim, me, we're all those guys that we stood the test of time.
Last one for me, Bobby. I've seen you post often about your love for jewelry. Anything exciting for sale this week?
I've been telling myself, I was thinking about going to get a new bracelet, but I do want to bust down. But I got so many expenses right now, bro, that I need to take care of. My focus was trying to get out of debt. That'd be nice, but I got enough jewelry right now. That's cool. If somebody wants to sponsor me something, cool. Shoot me something, maybe we'll do some business. I'll shoot you half and I'll promote half. Cool. So any jewelry sponsors, hit me up. But besides that, I'm really focused on paying off my house right now. That's my number one thing. It's paying my house off and being debt free.
Best of luck with that, and best of luck on Fight Night. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, South Africa.
We will take the next set of questions from Jim Varsalone with the Miami Herald.
Hey, thank you. I'm just curious. You're very outspoken. You're very candid and honest. I'm just curious, how much is social media a benefit for you? What you're doing, what you want to say, and do you do a podcast? And if not, would you ever think of doing one?
No, I don't do a podcast. And I know you say I'm so open, but I'm open because you guys are forcing me to be, okay? This was an interview that was demanded of me. I don't do many interviews. Maybe if I like you, I'll do an interview. If I don't know you, I won't do an interview. I'm the kind of guy that's in the shadows. Like, you won't hear from me. That's why people say, who are you? I'm going to go in the shadows, be in a little cave. I hide in a cave with my little jewelry, my little weed, and that's what I do. Don't judge me. That's what I do. I'm in my cave with my family. I worry about those guys, and I'm in this lab, and I'm working on how am I going to make my family better? How can I make my friends' lives better? I'm trying to be the best friend I can be. I'm trying to be the best fighter I can be. I'm trying to be the best lover I can be. I'm not worried about anything that's happening outside of those things. I don't worry about interviews. Interviews, I don't even do them. I don't do interviews, okay? If somebody begs me to, maybe they're a friend or of a friend, I'll do it. But besides that, bro, I don't do this shit. Half the time you guys say I talk too much. So, fuck it.
Hey, listen, thank you, though. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We will take the next set of questions from Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Bobby. Can you hear me?
Ecuador. What's up? What's up?
What's up? Hey, it will be amazing to have you here in Ecuador. You will be welcome. There's a lot of things that you can do here.
Oh man, hey, send me a ticket. I'm there.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is, you are coming more motivated into this fight because you lost the last one, but it was a very close fight that a lot of people thought that you won.
Yes, sir.
For sure. You said that Nate is your boy, but would you fight him?
Fuck no. You know, me and Nate have a loyalty thing. He sat me down. Was like, hey, when you're not fighting this guy, he said, I can't fight Gilbert. We're not fighting. I can't fight this guy, Yancey. Those three guys. I can't fight those three guys. He's like, those are the homies, and we got that bond. And so we have that gentleman's agreement. We're never cross those lines. We're homies. We're cool. You know, and even though he's up north and I'm down south, I still got love for that dude no matter what. It's always going to be NDA. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. And you've been on the game for a long time, and you've been fighting the best guys in the world and putting shows, amazing shows. So what's the key for doing that for such a long time?
What's the key to doing that for such a long time? It's got to be in you. Okay? It's just me being me. I'm doing me. This is how I fight. This is the style that I try to push on to different people. I think this is what fighting is for me. Some guys want to hug each other all day. I'll give you a little bit of that too, but I'm not trying to hug all day. I'm trying to make it exciting. I want something that's my style. I call it poetry in motion, meaning that I'm giving you this poetry. I'm giving you this art. It's happening in real time, and it's a real fight. That's all I can say.
Okay. Would you like to give some advice to the Latin American fighters, upcoming fighters, to get to the UFC or another great companies?
Okay. I would say my advice would be to any up-and-coming fighters. I would say, one, know who you are. You have to know who you are and be confident in yourself. That's one. Confident in yourself. Every day that what you're doing will pay off, because there's gonna be a lot of times where problems are gonna come in. There's gonna be a lot of times where family's gonna come in. There's a lot of times where all these different side distractions are come in and keep you from doing what you're destined to do. So stay strong and know who you are. Secondly, I would say it would be about, for me, it's about being good to people. I don't know. I just be good to people. That's how I got here. I've just been good to people. And somebody said, hey, you should help Bobby Green. And somebody else said, hey, you should help Bobby Green. And somebody else said it, and then next you know, I got a little bit of help here, and I got a little exposure, and it gravitated, you know. So spreading good energy to people, it'll come back. And that's all this is for me, is I've been good to people. And I pray that they're good to me, and the energy will come back, you know?
Okay, that's an amazing advice. And my last thing, would you like to send a message to your Ecuadorian fans?
Ecuador, I love you. Thank you for supporting me. Like, I haven't got to go out there yet, but I will. I promise.
For sure, we will wait for you. Thank you for your time, Bobby, and good luck.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Bobby. That is all the time we had for you, sir. We appreciate it.
Yes, we're done.
Next up, we will be joined by the number 9 ranked UFC middleweight contender, Kelvin Gastelum. We now welcome the number 9 ranked UFC middleweight contender, Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin, thank you for the time today, sir.
Thank you.
you. Thank you for having me on.
We will take the first set of questions from Carlos Contreras with Milenio Diario.
Hola Kelvin, ¿cómo estás?
¿Todo bien, Carlos? ¿Cómo están?
Muy bien. Oye, quería preguntarte, tú a finales del año pasado decías que querías pelear antes que acabar el año, incluso hasta 2 veces, pero Dana decía, es muy difícil porque Kelvin es de los mejores del mundo, no le podemos poner cualquier pelea. ¿Sí hubo alguna oportunidad de pelear el año pasado? Te quería preguntar primero y luego, pues, ¿cómo te sientes en esta pelea con Ian Heinisch? Que obviamente, es muy importante para ti sacar la victoria después de la racha negativa.
Sí, sí me habían dado unos nombres, pero la verdad yo creo los oponentes querían un poco más de tiempo de preparación y yo quería pelear un poco más pronto. Entonces no se llevó a cabo los contratos, la pelea, la fecha de las peleas, entonces no se llevó a cabo ningún combate. Entonces no peleé como quise y sí, obviamente esta pelea es súper importante para mí, pero la verdad es que me siento muy, muy bien para la pelea, muy bien preparado, muy bien mentalmente, que creo es lo más importante que me siento, es la mentalidad que tengo en esta pelea, es mucho más diferente de los que antes, ¿no?
Viéndote en el embedded, algunas entrevistas que ya se han publicado, te notas muy relajado. Y normalmente cuando alguien trae una racha tan negativa, está muy nervioso. ¿Cómo te mantienes alejado de pensar en las derrotas y enfocarte mentalmente en lo que será el sábado?
Sí, no, yo sé el nivel de talento que tengo, ¿no? Y yo sé mis habilidades, sé lo que puedo poner en la mesa, ¿no? Y entonces estoy confiable, tengo confianza en eso, en mis habilidades y, ¿verdad? Como siempre estoy confiante en que voy a salir con la victoria.
Finalmente, de mi parte, Kelvin, los que te seguimos en las redes hemos visto que eres muy fan de Cobra Kai. ¿Vas a pegar primero y pegar fuerte o cuál es la estrategia?
Así es el plan, ¿no? Pegar primero, pegar fuerte y sin piedad. Hey.
Muchas gracias, Kelvin.
Gracias.
We will take the next set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hey, Kelvin, how are you?
Doing well, my man. Thank you.
I know he just asked it. I don't want to get too far, but we saw embedded. You have that giant Cobra Kai, flag in your gym. Are you Team LaRusso or Team Johnny Lawrence? Who's the better sensei?
You know what? I used to be Team Miyagi-Do, but I think the script has flipped a little bit, and now that we see a little bit more of the backstory and the history of what really went on, I kind of turned the page and switched teams to Johnny Lawrence, man.
Talking about it, you fought plenty of guys, welterweight and middleweight. How does Ian Heinisch compare to some of the names you've taken on in the past?
I mean, obviously he's not as well known, but I mean, from what I've seen, he's very motivated and very highly skilled. He's coming off a couple good wins, and I respect his skills and what he brings to the table. So I'm more than ready for what he brings.
Talking about this fight, you've had quite the career already so far. What's the next step that you're looking for? I'm assuming it's staying active, but if you could map out 2021 for Kelvin Gastelum, how does it look like?
Yeah, I'm going 3-0 this year. I want to be active and fight at least 3 times and go 3-0 this year.
I notice it's pretty dominant MMA heavy main card. Obviously, Kamaru, Gilbert, yourself. Does Ali Abdelaziz throw you guys a party on Sunday or something when all of you guys are together? How does that work? Because I know he takes care of the team.
No, I mean, Ali does a very good job taking care of all of us and anything we need. No, it's not like we all get together after, no.
My final question, I'm asking all of the fighters this. You guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. What is Kelvin Gastelum's idea of a romantic Valentine's Day?
Yeah, just a nice dinner. Just a nice dinner with some good company and some good wine and some good laughs.
Hey, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Hunter Brownstein with MMA Weekly.
Hey, KG, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you, my
I'm
man?
good, man. Hope you're doing well as well. I noticed you said you changed your mindset a bit going into this fight. What adjustments did you make to your mindset going into it?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just more present, more in the moment, and whereas in the past couple fights, I feel like maybe my mind was a little bit thinking a little bit past that, you know, instead of being in the moment and focusing on my opponent, rather than thinking on the variables that come with the wins.
I noticed in your Q&A with Kamaru Usman and Megan O'Leary, he gave you massive props for your performance against Israel Adesanya at UFC 236. What does it mean for you to get that kind of recognition from your peers, you know, let alone a welterweight champion? And do you utilize that recognition at all as motivation for the fights ahead?
I just think the past is the past, you know, and I had fun. That was a great fight, probably one of the most fun I've ever had in my life. And but you know, it's in the past. Now I got to look forward, and I think the future is bright, and so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Do you yeah, obviously you don't want to look ahead too much, but do you have any plans for you know, the next fight, assuming you get a win over Ian?
No, my attention is 100% on Ian. I don't know what's going to come after. No.
Absolutely. Appreciate the time, Kelvin. Thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
We will take our next set of questions from Martina Kaluch with In the Cage. Martina, your line has been unmuted. Okay, we will move on. We will take the next set of questions from Luis Green with MMA Crazy.
Hi, Kelvin. You just touched on it just then about, you know, your experience being in there against Israel Adesanya. I'm just curious to know what you think about him moving up to light heavyweight to challenge Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, I think he's going to do really well. I actually think he's going to win. And but at the same time, is he going to be defending both belts? I don't know. That's the only question that comes to mind is like, is he going to move up and stay there, or is he going to defend both?
Do you think that holds up the division at all? Him making that decision to move up?
Not yet. You know, I don't see how yet, but eventually there's going to be a time where he has to decide what he's going to do.
Yeah, and how do you think it goes down between him and Jan?
I think he's going to win. I think he's very highly skilled, and I know that he's probably fought higher weights in the past, so I don't think this is going to be a problem for him.
And you spoke briefly earlier about your change of mindset. Can you talk a little bit about how you're feeling going into this fight versus how you felt, sorry, in say like the last 3 fights?
Yeah, well, particularly in my last 2 fights, you know, I felt like, you know, my mind was not where it needed to be, and I was thinking too much of the variables that come with the win, and you know, rather than being in the moment, focusing on 100% on my opponent, I wasn't. So I feel like maybe I was thinking a little bit past them, and that's not the case this time.
Okay, well, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Ezekiel Berganzi with Somos MMA.
Hola Kelvin, ¿cómo estás?
Todo bien, Ezequiel.
Te quería consultar, ¿cómo empezaste este año? ¿Cuál es tu mentalidad de cara a este 2021 que parece que va a ser tan especial como el año pasado?
Sí, pues la verdad he estado tratando de recuperar mi cuerpo, ¿no? Todo el año pasado tenía lesiones, ¿no? Si no era una cosa, era otra. Y todo el año traté de estar saludable y recuperar mi cuerpo, y creo que lo he hecho. Ahora estoy en muy buena condición físicamente, mentalmente también. Y creo que se va a mostrar la pelea, ¿no? Y creo que me va a salir bien.
¿Qué opinión te merece Ian Heinisch? ¿Qué pensás de él?
Un rival duro, lo veo muy motivado, muy motivado para ganar, ¿no? Lo veo un rival duro, la verdad. Aunque gente no lo conozca tanto, yo sé que él va a estar tratando de arrancarme la cabeza, ¿no?
¿Pensás que tu carrera en UFC está en juego con esta pelea o no?
En alguna manera sí, pero en otra manera no, ¿verdad? Obviamente no me pondría en una buena posición, pero a la misma vez no siento presión y me siento muy bien, me siento preparado.
Si conseguís una victoria, ¿en qué puesto te gustaría estar dentro de la división? ¿Hay alguna meta un poco a largo plazo que tengas? Porque yo entiendo que los peleadores se concentran en la pelea próxima que tienen, pero ¿hay algo ahí que vos quieras hacer después de esto?
No, la verdad ahorita estoy 100% enfocado en este sábado y ya lo que vendrá después vendrá, pero estoy enfocado 100% en el sábado.
Bueno, muchas gracias por contestar y buena suerte para el sábado.
Gracias.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. That is all the time we had for you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by the number 10 ranked UFC women's flyweight contender, Macy Barber. We now welcome the number 10 ranked UFC women's flyweight contender in the world, Maycee Barber. Macy, thank you for the time today.
Thank you.
We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hello, Macy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Macy, I feel like a lot of people are boiling this fight down to, Alexa's great boxing, but Maycee Barber just has to get her down to the mat and that's a wrap. Can you explain why it's not always that simple?
I mean, that's how a lot of people could look at it, because it's true. She does have great striking, but I'm also known for my ground and pound and my ability to finish on the ground. But for me, I feel like it's not just, oh, Alexa has great striking. I know that I have great striking as well. That's all we've been focusing on ever since, my last fight, the fight before, it's always continuing to evolve. So my striking has improved, my grappling has improved, and so has my wrestling. So, but yeah, fights are never gonna be just like, oh, this is a one and done. Like, it's never gonna be as simple. It's a fight, anything can happen. So, you can expect a standing, on the grappling, wrestling. It can go just about anywhere.
I know that you're always working hard in the gym. Obviously, the injuries slowed that down a bit, but you're very married to the game, so to speak. You're young in your career. What is something that you've, finally gotten good at in terms of just the fight game that maybe you weren't, so great at earlier in your career?
I think one of the biggest things for me, and just in overall like training and evolving as a fighter and athlete, is just the maturity. It's not just the training, it's also the recovery, it's also the nutrition, it's also just the mental preparation. And I think just being able to fully train and learn everywhere has helped me a ton. And for me, I don't just want to be a good fighter. I want to be a good professional athlete. I want to be a good overall human and just like my whole body, like everything. And I want it to all be 100% and the best I can be.
Yourself and Sean O'Malley still remain come from season 1, kind of like the faces of Contender Series. 2020, several guys had a chance to headline UFC events. None of them got the win. You versus Jojo Calderwood would be a great main event on a fight night. Do you feel like you could be the one to kind of get that first main event victory for the Contender Series guys and girls?
I do. I think it'd be a great idea, especially because I'm young. We both have good followings. It's a big fight, and Contender Series, the Contender Series has done amazing with all the fighters that have come up through. And you're going to see a lot of us young prospects, and you're going to see a lot of us, not just young prospects, but us become the contenders and become champions. So I'm super excited, and I would love to take that spot first.
My final question, I'm asking all of the fighters this. You guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. What is Macy Barber's idea of a romantic Valentine's Day?
I actually don't know yet. But I have, honestly, this fight has been the main focus, and it's been a bummer to not have everybody be able to be here with me, my friends, my family, but my family is actually on their way right now so that I can spend the day with them afterwards. So I'm probably going to be spending it with my family and my friends.
Okay, thank you, Macy, and good luck.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Martina Kaluch with In the Cage.
Hello, hope do you hear me? Sorry. Hello.
My knee?
Oh, hello, Macy. Hi. Just wanted to make sure that you hear me because I had some technical problems further. Okay, Macy, just 3 questions from me. First of all, I would like to know what kind of lesson did you take from this fight with Roxanne Modafferi?
I think for me, the lesson that I learned was just overall patience, and it wasn't just in the fight. It was mainly after the fight that I learned that, patience and just mentality of being able to learn in different ways.
Okay. And fighting in co-main event, is it like some additional stress for you?
No, things happen. The co-main event fell through with Chris Weidman getting positive. So obviously that sucks for him and his opponent, but I'm definitely excited to be able to be moved up to co-main event. That's just closer to being main event, and I feel like that's where we belong. So I'm excited.
I'm sure that you've heard some words from ESPN presenter Steven Smith and he said that he doesn't like to watch women punching their face each other, and he doesn't want to watch women MMA at all. What would be your message for Steven Smith and all those people, mainly guys, who don't like women MMA?
I feel like for females, we are in a male-dominated sport, but that doesn't mean that we can't do that as well. We are very good, and you've seen it with some of the best fights in all of MMA have come from women. Joanna versus Weili is a great example of that, and that was something that people are always going to remember. And for people like Steven Smith and all the haters, most of them can't even throw a punch. So there's a lot of opinions that I have on that. But really, I've been focused on this fight, and I've just been waiting to be able to say what I want to say about different things like that for the end of the fight.
Of course. Thank you very much. Have a great fight. Thank you.
Yeah.
We will take our next set of questions from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Macy, coming back from the injury, medical science has advanced so much in recent years to where, a knee injury like yours is no longer the career changer it used to be. As you come back from that, how have you felt in terms of, your confidence on the knee, things like that? Because, again, I know that is a big deal, especially for a fighter like yourself who is so dynamic with your kind of explosive takedowns and things like that. How was that coming back? And I hear a lot of fighters say they actually feel better, after coming back from something like that.
For me, I feel like I had the best surgeon in the world. I had the best therapy in the world. I had a great team behind me. And on top of that, I'm 22. So I feel like overall, for me to have such a serious injury, it was a blessing that it came at such an early time in my career, because I have the youth on my side to be able to heal, and I had the best team in the world to help me. So yeah, I do feel actually like a better fighter and a better athlete, and just I feel like my movement and everything is stronger through the injury, just because of how much recovery and how much focus we were able to put on training my legs and making sure that everything was strong and ready to go.
I know you've worked with a lot of different coaches, during your career. I know for this camp you were working with Mike Valley and Izzy Martinez, the team out in Chicago. How much has that team added for you? I know talking to Mike Valley when he was working with Felice Harrigan said that he's built a really strong program, especially for the women's fighters in his gym. So how much has that team added to you as you come back for this fight?
It's been huge. Mike Valley is an awesome coach. Izzy Martinez, I've known him a long time. He's an awesome coach. They're both very different personalities. Mike is a lot more laid back, more technical, and Izzy's super technical, but he's also like a go-getter, like a go, go, go. And he's good energy to have around, and I'm very bummed that I can't have him here tonight for Saturday. But overall, the camp has been amazing. I've had every single day of every single practice has been focused on me and what we need to do for this fight and for the future fights. So it's been a really strong camp, and there's been a lot of women that I've been able to work with. And also for me, it wasn't moving from Milwaukee to Chicago was not because the last camp that I was at was bad. It was just because I wanted to make sure that the focus was on me, and the training partners that I had were my size and a lot more women. So that's what we did.
When you first got to the UFC, Maycee, you had no problem setting high expectations for yourself, saying you wanted to be the youngest champion in company history. Obviously, you can't predict a knee injury, knocking you out for a year. But obviously, as you come back now, what kind of goals, what kind of expectations are you putting on yourself as you step into this fight and kind of reintroduce yourself to the flyweight division?
I always want to set high expectations. I'm never gonna shoot and aim low and set low goals. That's not something I'm ever gonna do, because it's not satisfying. I want to aim big, and I want to go for big things, because for me, the bigger the goal and the bigger the dream, the higher the reward. So and the more I can push, I want to push, and I want to grind, and I want to grow to be the best that I can, and I want to shoot for big things. So the goal and the ambition is still there, even from when I started and signed with UFC.
Last one for me. You fought on big stages and you've had a lot of attention since you arrived in the UFC. But as you come back, this fight is obviously going to be a little more important just because of the time off and the injury. But you are stepping into a co-main event on a pay-per-view. Do you feel like this is an opportunity for you to really shine and kind of remind the rest of the flyweight division from Valentina Shevchenko on down, that you are here and that you are still coming for everybody in the division? Because this is a kind of a bright spotlight for you to fight under.
This is a huge fight, especially being, like you said, co-main event against a tough opponent, and it is. I'm coming off an injury. I'm coming off a loss, so a lot of things are going to be huge and really good and really big when I win. And I'm super excited to be able to show all the flyweights that I'm still here and I'm still coming, and I know that I don't have to show them because they already know.
Thank you, Maycee.
Mm-hmm.
We will take the next set of questions from Cote Cruz with 4-to-Win MMA. Cote, please go ahead.
See, I'm so sorry. I just had a technical difficulty. I'm so sorry. How you doing, Maycee? Good to talk to you.
Same. Good to you.
Well, being a young prospect, it's a rite of passage to have the octagon jitters, the first UFC loss. You had both in the span of 2 years, I guess. What could you say are the biggest lessons on your UFC career so far?
It's been a crazy ride. Yes, I've had the octagon jitters. I've had the injury. I've had a loss. I've had a lot of things, and I feel like all of those have taught me a lot of different things. Everything that I've experienced within my career in the UFC has been new. It's always changing. It's always evolving. And there's just a lot of things that I've learned, and it's made me just overall, I feel like, very wise in being just 22, and I'm like super blessed to be able to be here.
You've done a lot of preparation at Valley Flow Striking. Belal is fighting soon. Nacho is set to debut in April. What can you tell me about the spirits of the team at this time, with you and all the guys getting ready to fight?
All the guys at the team they're go-getters. They're always grinding. Every time I go to the gym, they're always there. They're always training. Even after practice, they're doing the extra things. So being around that kind of energy has been, it's been really refreshing to be able to be around people that they just genuinely love what they do. You know, they're always happy. It's always good energy, and they're always working hard. So I'm excited for us and for all of the things that we're going to achieve in 2021.
Well, you're working your jiu-jitsu with Coach Rodriguez, am I right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You're working on your jiu-jitsu with Coach Rodriguez, right?
Yeah, we've been training at Valley Flow, yes, with him.
Yes. Are you prepared to enforce your will if the fight goes to the ground?
Yeah, we're always prepared, and Coach Alberto is he's been awesome. The top game, the pressure, everything has been really focusing on what we already have been doing, but just making it just that much better.
Grasso has been a big name in the organization for a few years now. What do you think a victory over Alexa can do for you in terms of future opportunities?
I feel like a win over Alexa is big. You know, it's obviously big because, like I've said in the past, she has a big following. She's a strong fighter. She's a tough fighter. She's been around for a while. She's got a solid record against a lot of solid fighters, and a win against her shows a lot of things, because, you know, she hasn't just fought girls who you're like, who's that? You know, she's fought Karolina Kowalkiewicz. She's fought Tatiana Suarez. She's fought some tough girls. So a win over her is going to show where it belongs.
Final question from me. As a Chilean, I need to ask about the relationship between you and Nacho Bamontes and Caro Gallardo. How is the day-to-day with the Chilean colony there in Chicago?
I love those guys. I train with Caro basically every single day. She's around my size, so we were sparring, we were training, we were doing all the drills together. I love her. She's becoming a good friend of mine, and same thing with Nacho. You know, he's just a little bit bigger. I can't really train with him as much. He helps a little bit with the movement, but aside from that, it's just he's in the gym. So they're a lot of fun to be around, and just like I said, the vibe around the gym has been it's been refreshing. You know, again, they love what they do. And that's their life, and I'm excited to see both of them have great success in their careers.
And I'm excited to see you compete on Saturday as well. Thank you so much for your time, Maycee. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maycee. That is all the time we had for you. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Next up, we will be joined by the last athlete for the day, UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman. We now welcome UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman. Kamaru, thank you for the time today, sir.
Hello. How are you?
We're doing great. Thank you, sir. We will take the first set of questions from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hey, Kamaru, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you. Kamaru, I wanted to ask you something. You brought it up on the embedded. You talked about, you know, it's weird how much your career has resembled Rashad Evans, Ultimate winner, champion, etc. I did want to ask you, there's a lot of talk about the return of the Ultimate Fighter. Being a coach, you've worked with some great coaches, you've had great teams and teammates. Would you be interested in possibly filling that role in your career, trying to be an Ultimate Fighter coach?
Absolutely. I think, I mean, the stage is kind of set for that, for me to do that. Um, and I think there's no time better than now to be able to do that. I've proven myself as a champion. And this is what some of the greatest seasons of the Ultimate Fighters are when those proven champions are able to step in there against a foe and go out there and deliver in helping some of the newer generations and newer fighters crack into the UFC. So absolutely, I think the stage is kind of set for me. The opponent is, I'll let the people decide who they want to see with that. You've got the loudmouth guy that runs around saying he's Jesus, that he can baptize anybody. We could do that, or we can have the other guy that I broke his face again. So either one, the stage is set. It's up for the people to decide.
I know the pandemic and then injuries, made it hard for you to kind of stay active a bit in 2020. Do you have a particular number of fights you'd like to hit? Like, do you want to try to get in there 2 or 3 times in 2021? Or is it just, the business and your management will handle that as long as you get a fight?
Well, yeah, of course, business and management will, that's their job. That's what I pay them to do. So they handle that. But absolutely, I would love to fight 3 times this year. That's 3 times the paycheck. So of course I would love to do that. But I'm also smart enough to know that I'm at a particular point in life where my body is a priority now. And so if my body permits me to fight 3 times, then I could do it 3 weeks in a row. We'll knock him out. But if not, then I kind of got to listen to my body and my team and my coaches, and we'll decide what's best.
My final question, I'm asking all of the fighters this. You guys are fighting on Valentine's Day weekend. What is the welterweight champion, Kamaru Usman's idea of a romantic Valentine's Day?
Oh, well, initially Valentine's would just be me and my daughter. I'm in a weird place now to where actually being a father and then you have a child where, and it's a daughter. I'm kind of in that place to where I have to display the example that I would want her to know and understand, and that I would want a man to give her. And so I have, one Valentine's taking her out on a date, giving her flowers and all of that. And so, yeah, that's kind of my idea is just, of course, every day should be a day that you let them know that they're appreciated. But Valentine's just kind of, it's what everyone's doing. It's a designated day for you to show a little extra appreciation for them. So I've already put something in the mail for my daughter. Hopefully she receives it tomorrow or Saturday.
Hey, thank you, Kamaru, and good luck.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Jim Varsalone with the Miami Herald.
Thank you, champ. Like the hat.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, I just want to know, I'm in South Florida. So, champ, are you all still living here? I know you're not with Sanford MMA anymore. Do you still train down here, though? Are you living down here? Just a little bit of the dynamic there. Thank you.
Yeah, I still have my place there. I'm actually kind of, a lot of people don't know that I left Colorado to come to South Florida. And so I spent 2 years in my life from 2010 to 2012 here in Colorado before I went to South Florida. So, Colorado's kind of always had a place in my heart. So I would like to, and I'm kind of in that process of getting a place here as well. But of course, I have that place down there in South Florida. I think it would be unfair for me to just uproot my daughter and her way of life right now and just move her all the way to Colorado. But, I definitely will be splitting time in both.
And about this fight, such a big event. You've been in so many big fights. How do you look at this one? How does this one add to your legacy, if I could say legacy?
Yeah, I mean, legacy is not something that I'm worried about right now. That's just there. That's something that people bestow upon you. I learned very, very early in the game when I was 1-1 and I had lost my second professional fight, and I was thinking, man, like, how do I build a resume? Like, what's going on here? And then it was the first time I actually ever, I was living with Rashad Evans at the time. I Googled him, and I saw his Dog, and I was looking at Dog, and I think he started his career out at like maybe 10-0 or something crazy like that. And I just remember going through and just seeing all the greens and wins and wins and wins. And I'm thinking to myself, how could I ever one day get this many greens on my resume? How could I do that? And I remember the talk with him where he was just like, you know what? You just got to take it one fight at a time. One fight at a time. Just focus on the task at hand. And then when you're said and done, they will pile up. And that's what I've done, you know, and I started doing that. And before you know it, I was 5-1, you know, defending my team on the Ultimate Fighter finale. Next thing you know, everyone's saying, hey, you got one more fight to tie George St. Pierre for this record. So as long as I continue to just take it one fight at a time, I think, you know, that's the important thing. So legacy, that's something that will come after when you look back on your achievements. But this fight is definitely important. Gilbert Burns is the toughest test to date, which is why he's fighting me right now. If he wasn't the toughest guy, he wouldn't be in there with me. I take him very seriously, and I'm worried and focused on just him. Once we get through him, then we could, you know, when I'm done with my career, then we could worry about legacy.
And you mentioned pile up, 16 in a row piled up, champ. That's pretty good. Hey, lastly for me, how's your brother doing? What's going on with him? And do you get, I know you're in your fight mode, but do you get to train with him a little? And that's it for me. Thank you.
I haven't been able to really like train with him. That's because, you know, he lives in Dallas, Texas. And of course he's a big boy. And usually kind of our schedules are just kind of mixed up to where when I'm in the training camp, he kind of knows how to just kind of let me be in the training camp and go do what I need to get done in order to be successful. But he's a PFL heavyweight now. He's going to be in the PFL tournament. He was just out in Colorado a couple of weeks ago, and I was thoroughly impressed. He still has a long way to go because he's still a newbie in the sport. He's still very, very green, but I was extremely impressed by he's finally starting to get it. And that's one thing that I kind of questioned early on in this is, does he really want to do this, or is he just doing this because of me? And he's really starting to get it. He wants it. And that's a dangerous thing. You guys have seen him. My little brother is that guy that will run right through a wall if you tell him to, and if he believes in it. So I think PFL are going to have their hands full with him, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Thank you, champ.
Thank you.
We will take the next set of questions from Alistair Bishop with MMA Republic.
Kamaru, how are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you very much. I know this narrative between two teammates and former training partners has been played out quite a lot, and I'm sure you're pretty tired of answering the question. But what, if anything, has surprised you the most between yourself moving and what's being said by Gilbert Burns?
I wouldn't say that I'm surprised by a lot of it, because you have to expect that from when someone calls you out and says, hey, I want to challenge you. You know, you have to expect that they're going to say and do whatever is possible and necessary for them to form that belief in themselves that they can get the job done. And so I wouldn't say that I'm surprised. I honestly, I would be, I'm a human being with human emotions. And, you know, when you spend so much time with that team, I've always been there. That was where my career was with the Black Zillions, and then, over H Kickboxing, I was always with them. And when you are the guy who kind of helped, I was there from the start, and you go in and you give them the world championship. It's and then things kind of play out the way that they're playing out. It's kind of tough when people start taking sides. That's a tough one. And I would be honest if I said that wasn't kind of the most surprising thing to me. But at the end of the day, you got to expect it. He's coming and he feels prepared, and he feels like he's ready to go out and take me out. And it's my job to go in there and let him know that, hey, it's a dream. One day it might happen, but not while I'm on the throne.
he mentioned, I think the question was about his title reign as a champion, and he was issuing out a warning to the top 15. What does that make you feel like? Has the respect level for Gilbert Burns changed by the way he's almost looking past you and saying things like coaches and teammates know about you and they're all kind of chipping into your demise? Does that change the respect level?
I didn't get the first part of that. You said what?
He was planning his title reign already, about the whole of the top 15 was already in trouble.
Yeah, no. I mean, it is what it is. He has to say that. I mean, we hear it time and time again. Guys have to they have to, if you don't believe in yourself, then why are you even in there? Or if you don't say you believe in yourself, why are you in there? Everyone has to say that. I'm sure Colby Covington was planning his title reign as well. I'm sure Tyron Woodley wanted to continue his title reign. And I'm sure Jorge Masvidal, the Street Judas or Street Jesus, whatever they call him, I'm sure he was planning a title reign, fighting this guy and that guy and all of this. They all plan that. It is what it is. At the end of the day, all I can do is worry about myself and the things that I can control going into the fight. And as long as I've done that, then the outcome should be what it should be.
The new look out at your camp, Justin Gaethje and Trevor Whitman. What would you say is the biggest takeaway or the biggest lesson you've learned from both Justin Gaethje and Trevor Whitman?
Well, I would say with Trevor, I think it's just the basic fundamentals. And I knew it, kind of in my career. There was certain times where I would be preparing for a fight and I felt like, okay, I needed to spend more time on this. I'm not sharp here with this. Like my footwork is not there. My balance is not there. I'm not sharp there. But I'm on a team with 40, 50 guys, and the coaches are gone every other weekend training and coaching other guys. So I kind of have to be the one to do the best that I can to bridge that gap on my own. And now kind of getting back to those basics. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's kind of hit a heavy bag. Everyone knows how to hit hard. We all know that. I have punching power. He has punching power. But it's those fine details of, okay, this is you step here, and this is why you step here. You throw the punch here, this is why you exhale. This is why you squeeze your stomach. This is why you pull in tight. This is why the guard is up. This is why we roll with this. Just those fine details, I think, are what then starts to separate the good from the great. It's just learning those small details. And it was very tough to get those details on a team with 40, 50 guys with maybe 4 coaches, and the coaches are gone every other weekend. And so I would say, yeah, that's kind of been the biggest key of is getting that attention and being able to work on those details. And then with Justin Gaethje, it's just, I mean, being around a madman. I call him a madman because he's just somebody who likes to. He's just there to fight. With Justin, I'm going into sparring, and it's crazy. It's like normal days. It's like, okay, I have wrestling practice today. Okay, it's gonna be a tough one, but it is what it is. I'm used to that. I'm going into grappling. Okay, it is what it is. I'm used to that. But it's like, okay, I have to spar, and I know Justin's gonna spar. Something about it is just you kind of get that little feeling in your stomach, those little butterflies, like, okay, I'm gonna get punched today. It's gonna be all right. You kind of got to get up for it. And then when he comes in, he's just like a hurricane. He doesn't spare anything. He'll just jump right on you. And so that's been great to have someone who puts me in the fire. I'm able to still feel that fire. Yes, it's a new surrounding, new environment, but I'm still able to feel that fire to where when I get in there, that's not going to be a foreign feeling to me.
Fantastic. Kamaru, obviously from South Africa, there's a lot of talk about the African UFC, and we're all campaigning really hard to make that a reality, hopefully, when all this COVID stuff is over and the world returns to normal. How do you envision a Africa UFC event, and how far do you think we are away from it?
Honestly, I don't think we're far at all. I think the tough thing is just the higher ups and the execs just are able to say, okay, we're gonna do whatever it takes to make it happen. Because obviously there's intricate details that a lot of people don't know that goes into bringing events to certain places, as far as just financial wise, and not just financially, but also logistics and making sure everything works out. There's a couple of countries down in the continent of Africa who are definitely capable of being able to host and make this thing come to fruition. And it's just kind of up to the company to basically decide if, hey, we're going to make this happen. Because sooner than later, we're about to have 3 African-born champions, all holding belts. So, I mean, we're gonna have to make something happen sooner or later. And I envision that just being one of the most memorable and massive events that this company has ever seen.
Fantastic. There's definitely going to be a couple of young Africans, and especially South Africans, listening and watching this. So, a 2-part question: what would you say to those youngsters in pursuit of their dreams, and a message to those African fans?
No, my biggest message has always been is, you know, I'm an African-born child. I came from there. I was born there and I was raised there for a while until I moved over here to the States, and my roots are very strong from there, very deep. I remember my time there very, very vividly and very well. And one of those things is when you're growing up and the country is kind of the way it is, certain countries, it's tough to see yourself out of that situation. It's tough to ever see yourself like we had a well. We had to go out and get fresh water, boil the water in order to be able to have stuff to cook for the day and take care of ourselves on a daily. And this is what I come from. And I know this is what a majority of some African kids are going through and living in right now. And for me, being that symbol of hope that, you know, just because this is a situation that you're in right now, this is not necessarily where you're going to end up. Nobody knows tomorrow. My story is living proof of that. And Israel Adesanya is living proof of that. And of course, Francis Ngannou is living proof of that. And so it's just that message that let all my Africans, and not just Africans, but people all over the world know that, you know, your situation, your circumstances today are not always where God has designed for you to end up.
Inspiring. Thank you very much. So best of luck. And as always, Africa is behind you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We will take the next set of questions from Fabricio Souza with Diario Claren.
Hi, Kamaru from Argentina.
Hola, hola, my friend. How are you?
Hola. Sorry for my bad English, Kamaru. How you feel for that fight?
I'm feeling good. Of course, you know, the narrative is I'm fighting someone that I'm familiar with, but at the end of the day, I'm feeling good. I woke up this morning and it became a lot more real, you know, with the weight cut. When you start starving, it's like, why am I starving? And so it becomes real for you. So, yeah, I feel good. And I'm ready to get this weight off and get the show on the road.
Yes. Is Julian Burns the most dangerous fighter in the division for you? I ask because of his grappling first, your grappling level first, and he knows you very well.
Absolutely. Right now, he is the most dangerous guy in the division. Absolutely. One, because there's that element of he's felt me before, you know. Obviously, it was in training, but he's felt me before, and he has an idea of kind of the way that I move. Excuse me.
It's okay.
It's my mom. She would call me. But it's hold on one second. She's gonna be
don't hold your mom.
Hey, Mom. Madam, I'm doing an interview right now. You called me right in the middle of a media day. Okay. Are you okay? Everything okay?
God bless you.
Amen.
You are winning. In Jesus' name.
Amen. All right. I'll call you later, okay?
Okay.
All right. My mom. Every now and again, she'll just call and prayer.
The moms are all already in the life.
Yes. And so, yeah, I mean, with Gilbert, yes, he's absolutely the most dangerous guy right now because, yeah, he's felt me before. And then, of course, he's on a streak. He's got that ultra confidence right now that he's the guy. You know, but as far as skill-wise, it's not just because he's grappling. I've faced Damian Maia is probably the most dangerous grappler we've ever seen in the sport of MMA. I've faced Sergio Moraes, another incredible grappler. And so it's not just he's not dangerous just because of his grappling. He's dangerous because he's felt me before and he's got that ultra confidence that he can do this. And so it's my job to go in and let him know that, you know, it's not his time yet.
Okay, you say that in case of your win this fight, you are not clear who will be the next in the division. Do you see yourself moving up the division in the future?
If you know, after I win this fight, I do think because I don't like the narrative of how these guys. I believe in my last fight, these guys hopped into a perfect scenario and a perfect excuse for them, and which was the only way they took the fight. We tried to make that fight 3 times before, and they didn't. They didn't accept the fight. So when it was on 6 days' notice to where they had a built-in excuse to, hey, let's just take the fight, and even if when we do lose, we have a built-in excuse. You know, that kind of didn't sit well with me, and I think I would love to run that one back just to go out there and fully display the skills that I've been working on, and I would love to finish him. And I think this one it'd be much easier to finish him.
The last one. In Chile, you were going to fight with Santiago Ponzinibbio, Argentina, but he got injured. Now you are the champion, and he lost recently after 2 years without fighting. Do you think that in the future that fight could happen?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Santiago Ponzinibbio is someone that's he's very, very dangerous in the division. And it's very, very tough to sustain an injury and be out of this game for almost 2 years. That's extremely tough. And then him coming back and you know, trying to find his footing again, that's a tough task for anybody to do. And so I think, yeah, absolutely. I think if he's able to get back and just rehab and make sure that he's healthy, I think for sure that's a fight that could happen down the line. I mean, I like the guy. I like his body of work. I like his aggressiveness and how he fights. So, yeah, absolutely. That's a fight that could take place in the future.
Well, thank you, Kamaru. Thank you for talking with me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kamaru. That unfortunately is all the time we have for you, sir. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
And that concludes today's virtual media day. We apologize if we were not able to get to you and your questions today, but we would like to thank everyone for joining today's event and your supporting coverage. We will distribute video downloads from today's events to your emails as soon as they are available. Have a great day, everyone.